happen.
Oh. And that's when we had to get the bail money put together.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another time.
And then I said, that's not a screwdriver. Welcome to Radiant Shadows, a D&D 5e actual play campaign where a bunch of Australians and one Kiwi attempt to be serious for most of the time, but often things go off the rails.
Sorry.
No, that's part of the fun. I'm Ham. I'm the DM. I lurk in all the usual places, like here and Twitter. And Hive, which I don't actually go and check out nearly as much as I should. Keep on forgetting it's there. Let's do a whip around of everybody. Promethean. Sorry, I caught you just as you were having a mouth.
Crack that whip.
Yeah.
Hi,
impeccable timing already.
Well done. But it was out of one of my Meeples and Dragons steins here, the Ranger one specifically. Because, I'm Promethean. I'm playing Delgrim, the Duergar Ranger. And I also play games and stuff on my channel and hang out over on the OzQuest channel and do some things.
Yeah, awesome things.
We're all about consequences and, pretending like I wasn't waving my crossbow around at an old lady threateningly.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Nothing will go wrong. It's all good. Cass, on the subject of things going wrong.
To be fair, I think the gag was what took it to the next level. Just gonna say.
I forgot the gag.
Yeah. Everyone forgets the gag until it's brought out.
Cass, would you like to introduce yourself? Let's try and keep this on the rails at least for the first 5 minutes.
I'm Shadow Miera. I don't look at Twitter very much at all, but I'm on TikTok and I post some videos of animals and stuff like that. So come and check me out on TikTok and like my posts, I guess.
I do think we need to update Nightbot because it says Cass is playing the sweetest little halfling around, Miera. I feel like, and the chat has already pointed this out, like maybe that's not quite correct. But anyway, that's something we're going to find out more about or not. Who knows?
Sweetly evil is perfectly normal.
Oh, yeah. Heath.
Kia ora, bro. G'day. I'm Heath. I'm the Antipodean D20, promoting a little bit quiet of late, but generally promoting all things Australian and New Zealand gaming, the Australasian down under vibe. And I play Grumpfel, a deep gnome, and welcome.
Awesome. Cheers, man. And last and most definitely least, not least, you knew I was going.
No, you were right the first time.
I was. John.
Hi, I'm John from Meeples and Dragons. I play Tiernan de Palan. Tongue-tied this morning, tonight already. A moon elf artificer. Stop laughing. Also, just a quick update on our Meeples and Dragons online store. We've been getting in quite a number of third-party publisher RPGs, and we've been expanding our line into January as well. Just wanted to let everyone know that we've got more Pathfinder coming in. We've got a whole bunch of the core books as well as some more beginner boxes.
Yeah.
And we have several titles from Renegade Games and Morphidius.
Ooh.
So if you're unfamiliar with them, that's Vampire the Masquerade, Kids on Bikes, Altered Carbon, Dune RPG, Fallout RPG,
awesome.
as well as the Kickstarter edition of Avatar Legends.
Ooh.
And tonight we're going to be giving away one of the Kickstarter exclusives, foiled covers. Now, the conditions are going to appear in the chat, but it is basically an ! Giveaway to enter. We will be giving it out at the end of the stream, and you can only enter once. But you will need to be online at the end of the show to be able to claim your prize. So, yep,
awesome.
Just to be clear, John, online on the internet in general, or in
on the stream,
location?
On the
very specific there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also comes on the back cover. It's Cora. Hang on the front. We're letting people pick which one they want. So
nice.
So pretty.
Excellent. And the instructions have been provided again also in the chat.
Thank you, Sarah.
You need to reference that. Shout out to you, Sarah, or Saz, the other half of the Meeples and the Dragons. Saz is our wonderful producer who sits in the background and basically does a lot of the really awesome stuff, which means that the rest of us can just sit here and act like fools.
Sorry, our natural state?
Pretty much. Saz is invaluable. If she wasn't here, we would all fall to pieces and it would be terrible. So Saz, as always, thank you very much. And finally, also just a reminder that we're fundraising for the Black Dog Institute. So Black Dog Institute is an Australian medical research institute focusing on mental health and suicide prevention. So their research goes towards discovering new solutions, fostering connections, and creating real-world change. Donations that you make will not impact our game in any way. But if you do wish to join in supporting Black Dog, just type !donate in the chat to access the Tiltify link. And if you want to find out more about them, type in !charity into the chat channel. If you want to support us, you can do the whole follow, subscribe, all of that kind of funky stuff.
Keep it going, keep the old chain going.
Yep. But throw money at Black Dog because it's really awesome. I'm also quite terrified by chat at the moment. So,
we'll spit roast ham in the mix. You know,
fantastic.
That's the peak. What? There's a bunch of delicious options there. That's all I'm saying.
I'm thinking of is that GIF. Sorry.
What GIF?
Okay, just ignore me.
I'm not even going to go there. All right. Anything else we need to bring up?
Give it away now.
Bingo card. There is
Bingo
a bingo
card.
card in the wild.
Yes, there is a bingo card. You've probably already got 1 or 2 squares on it from just our insane ramblings at the beginning of this morning, this afternoon, this evening.
Hoping Kate won't be here as well.
Kate,
Yes.
add a new square. Ham gets the time of the day wrong.
Ham doesn't understand time. Yes, and as some of you will have noticed, Kate is not here today. For those of you who were able to catch the episode last week, you'll have a vague idea where Rowan is. Kate herself is currently performing at the Fringe Festival. And from the reviews that I've seen so far, she's absolutely smashing it out of the park. So super stoked that she's there, super stoked that she's doing well. And hopefully she will be back next session. But for now, I think that's everything. Anything for anyone? Anyone? Nope. Cool. All right. Let's jump into our summary from last session. And as always, guys, if there's anything I've missed or maybe haven't quite got right, please feel free to connect me because braining is hard for me sometimes.
Can I jump in with a quick correction for John for Tiernan? I'm pretty sure you said moon elf. Tiernan is a shard folk, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep referring to it as a moon elf.
I don't know.
Because I used it as a base.
Yeah.
It's close to
So,
the moon.
Shard folk are intrinsic to this world that Hamish has wrought for us.
From the very loins of my being. Let's go to the summary. So, after discovering that their new friend Rowan was missing, our small group searched the halfling's room, looking for clues beyond the single strange ring that Miera discovered in her bed. Aside from her neatly organised gear, there was no sign of her. So, after asking Nissa and Duart, the innkeepers of the Fleece and Scythe, to see what they could find, the group began to prepare for the evening's events. Tiernan decided to invest some time in trying to repair the breastplate they discovered under the lightning tree, while the rest of the group headed to see Wex and get the plan underway, a key component of this being luring Peridin away from his home so they could investigate it further for clues to his betrayal. It was not long until Miera, Delgrim and Grumpfel had the opportunity to sneak up to the Furbolg's home. Quickly ascertaining that it was the old maid Heath who was home, the group attempted to convince her to let them in to search the house. Alas, this did not go according to plan, with the elderly woman reluctant to let these strangers simply ransack the home, and before long, windows were smashed, spells cast, the poor old lady threatened, before Miera and Grumpfel rampaged through the property.
No, not Grumpfel. Delgrim.
Delgrim, sorry.
Yeah, hi.
I was reading slightly ahead there, leaving poor Grumpfel with a distressed woman. It was about then that Tiernan turned up, walking into the middle of the chaos.
And oh my god.
Quickly finding the two inside, he attempted to defuse the situation, doing what he could before the party quickly left, making half-hearted apologies to the poor, traumatized Heta. As evening descended, the group set up the last of their ambush for Peridin. Fireworks were set up, traps laid, and crates hidden behind. And finally, the trap was sprung. With all the townsfolk present, Peridin was confronted with his wrongdoings, and while suspended upside down from Delgrim's magical trap, admitted to his part. Dragged away to be secured in one of the rooms at the Fleece and Scythe, our small group was last able to enjoy the fireworks. But as the colourful explosions filled the night sky, the experience was bittersweet, as their friend Rowan was still nowhere to be found. And that is where we will pick up, with the last of the fireworks slowly fading from existence. There is still a buzz throughout the crowd that is around you guys, both from what's happened up on the stage, the unfolding events with Peridin, plus this incredible fireworks display. There is a definite vibe through the crowd. So, what would you guys like to do?
Delgrim will look up at Wex to say that was as incredible as it was terrifying.
Oh, yes, the fireworks. It's Zerblethorpe's fireworks are always remarkably impressive. It's every year that we use them, it still fills me with joy. It's the first time you've ever seen fireworks, I'm assuming. And he looks down because you had grabbed his hand, hadn't you?
Yeah, we had a tender moment.
You did. He sort of looks down slightly at your hand, and he doesn't let go until you do, but you can. There is a slight sort of tenseness there.
I think we and my friends should make sure that Peridin is securely locked away in.
Oh, yes, I mean, that makes sense. I'm not entirely sure how. I mean, I'm fairly certain that doors at the Fleece and Scythe have got locks on them, but it would be good to make sure he doesn't try and run away or anything like that. I'm still not entirely sure what we're going to do with him, but...
Yeah, and so with that, Delgrim will just try and find the others dispersed as they are amongst the crowd.
Yeah. I believe Tiernan was fairly... You were quite open with where you were positioned, weren't you, Tiernan?
Yep. I was over near the trying to block access to Peridin's horse. I was pretty much standing in the street. I wasn't attempting to conceal myself in any way, shape, or form.
And Grumpfel, you were up in one of the rooms in the inn, sort of looking down. But I think you'd come down after that.
Yeah, initially he was... so I thought there was a balcony, but you said it was just a window that he was hanging out to look out.
Yeah.
And he had the copy of the confession. And when old mate was taken away, he came downstairs to make sure that they searched him for any sort of keys or concealments or something like that before letting him into a room at the inn, just to make sure he's got no escape plans or anything like that. Make sure that the window is secured and all that sort of fun stuff before venturing outside and engaging with the village folk and watching the fireworks.
Cool. And what about Miera? You were hiding in crates, weren't you? Yeah.
By the side of the stage.
Yep.
Yeah, just in case it went to shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Tiernan's going to be the easiest one to spot. Delgrim will head towards Tiernan. He's taller, and the extreme look of disappointment on his face is probably going to be the easiest thing to find in the crowd.
Not mad, I'm just disappointed.
I think if I see Delgrim going down the stairs off the stage, because I will have been watching the stage, I'll start tailing you and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Tiernan will be literally just standing there. It's almost like he's examining the fireworks as they were going off, just pondering them to himself. He's trying to think how did they actually achieve that with the fireworks.
Okay, because rolling dice is fun. Make a Arcana check for me.
Ooh,
Let's see if he can figure it out, or if he's.
Isn't that funny? I completely forgot to get dice out. Ha! That's all right. I'll use my digitals. Arcana.
So strangely enough, Tiernan suddenly looks really weird and then just drops dead. It's terrible.
Geez, that didn't take you long.
Doesn't have dice. What kind of monster doesn't have dice? Anyway, sorry, you were rolling?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Arcana, right?
Yep. Abso-smurfly. So
Smurfatootly.
you watch these fireworks going off, and you would be able to ascertain that one of the core components of this would definitely be black powder. There is an explosive nature to this. But the way, for example, when the dragon appeared, when the giant Z in the sky appeared, like there is definitely some magical shenanigans going on there. You're not entirely sure what they would be. You don't think it's necessarily anything particularly powerful from a magical point of view. You'd be conscious of minor cantrips, which are often able to do things with colours and shapes and things like that. So it could be some kind of combination like that, but there's definitely magic involved in some capacity, which is quite unusual. Or would at least take someone very skilled. So all of you end up, hat time, all of you end up basically outside the fleece and scythe, and at this point in time. The crowd is still buzzing, people are talking, you can hear the sound of a fiddle starting, followed closely by a lute, and you can see a couple of the townsfolk have got up on the stage and are starting a little jaunty tune, and there's people in the crowd who are starting to dance along with it as well, as they're getting into this celebration.
Oh, it sounds like a riot because, they're looting. And Grumpfel drops dead.
Well, he did say it was a TPK search special session.
What did he do?
Kind of deserve it after that.
What did I do to deserve this group? Anyway, what would you guys... So, as you all come together, what is your plan from here?
Did they say where they were going to hold Peridon? They seem to be walking towards the inn.
Peridon being held in. We should talk to Nessa.
Yes, they have... Oh, hang on, no, Grumpfel's not there, sorry.
No, Grumpfel's there. Yeah.
He is there? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't realise we'd all sort of...
Yeah, you all sort of would sort of get to the same spot about the same time.
Tiernan wouldn't have heard what Wex said about locking in the inn, that's all.
Yes, he's been secured in a room. I made sure they checked he hadn't any sort of means of escape. The window is secured, and they removed any. I asked them to remove any keys or things that might have to for him to abscond.
Might I suggest we move the horse then, maybe? In the unlikely event that Peridon seems to is smart enough to extricate himself from the room, make it harder in the event.
Good idea. We should also
cover
search
bases.
horse. We should search horse, but be careful. They spit poison.
Would Tiernan know much about horses?
Yeah. I mean, it's a common enough animal for anyone who doesn't come from under the ground.
Okay. I don't think they spit poison, but you're welcome to join me to check over the horse, Delgrim.
Delgrim will just instantly snap a look over to Grumpfel, just looking confused, a little bit hurt.
I'm going to go check the horse.
Okay. You guys make your way over to the horse. There's literally just a saddle on it. Saddle and bridle. There's no saddlebags. There's like at a quick look, there's nothing which would enable someone to stash anything extra on it. It's quite a nice looking saddle. It's quite shiny. Obviously sort of well taken care of.
No, there doesn't appear to be anything suspicious with the horse. Do we retire for the evening? Do we join the villagers?
Should we take the horse back to Peridon's manor?
Is Netta going to appreciate that?
She's already heard that he's in custody and she's already looting.
Some kind of apology gift to go with horse? Or horse's apology gift?
I could give her some sparkle cookies as an apology. So maybe getting a little too into the investigation. We didn't smash the window, that was Brian though, so but we can apologise for our part.
Brian.
I wasn't able to fix the window.
We also Brian throw rock at window.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I saw.
It's good.
Tiernan looks at them suspiciously because he wasn't there.
Grumpfel kind
Insight check.
Grumpfel kind of looks at his feet.
Absolutely.
He doesn't want any reminder.
So Delgrim and Miera, please make deception checks. Tiernan, make an insight check. Tiernan, what did you get?
7.
Okay.
Does Grumpfel need a deception check, even though he's not adding vocally? He's kind of just looking down.
Because he has
He's not lying.
Yeah, he's not lying. So Delgrim, what did Delgrim get?
17.
And Miera?
19.
Practiced liars. Yeah, no, Tiernan. It seems like you'd have no indication that what they're saying is not true.
Okay. Must be telling the truth.
I think maybe we leave visit to Netta until daylight. She's had a rough day, maybe coming to visit in nighttime a little much for old lady.
Right. She's probably already in bed.
Or planning revenge.
Oh, hold up. Would it be worthwhile mentioning to Wex to potentially send someone over there? Because she would expect Peridon to return, would she not? And I'll have a sudden surprise of him not returning would be, wouldn't she grow concerned?
She might, you're right.
I can go talk to Wex if you guys like.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I would like to wander over to Wex and just, excuse me, Wex, I'm just a little bit concerned about Netta.
So Heta, you mean Heta, yes?
Heta, sorry. Could have sworn her name was Netta, but okay. I'm just a bit concerned.
You fucked up last session.
I wasn't trying to draw attention to it.
Oh shit, well I just did. Fuck.
Lucky we're not live. Oh, wait.
I know.
I lost my place. Oh, good.
Oh, sorry, Tiernan, what is it that you're sending someone over to see Heta?
Yeah, I'm just a bit concerned because, you know, she's in her elder years, and wouldn't she anticipate Peridon returning? Would she? She's already had a very exciting day. I would hate for her to jump to conclusions so late in the evening when Peridon doesn't return. Is it possible to send a runner down there?
Oh, it
Someone
sounds
that you
like an
trust?
excellent idea. I'll get someone to find Glacian. I mean, Glacian's Peridon's good friend and he's known Heta since he was a child, so it seems like the obvious choice. He turns around and just sort of has a quick scope around and sees the other young priest, Jaren, who you haven't really sort of engaged with, but these are a young, barely sort of out of childhood for a young adult. Still got the baby fat, and he goes, Jaren, would you please find Glacian and send him up to the Nifglade house and just make sure Het is okay, and just pass on what's happened with Peridon. Maybe even go along with Glashin. It might be worthwhile just to ensure that Het is okay. She is old and quite frail these days, and to make sure the shock of all of this doesn't do her any harm.
Thank you, Wex. Much appreciated.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. And he turns back around and sort of continues chatting with some of the townsfolk. Jaren runs off to find where Glashin is. Wades his way through the crowds.
Wex, just before you go,
Yes.
I think someone also broke her window up there. I think it may have been one of the kids playing funny buggers.
Oh, this is very do you know which one?
It was Brian.
I'm terribly sorry. I'm not very good with names. Starts with B, I think.
B. So Miera, you're probably not close to this conversation because
Oh, damn it.
Tiernan did have to go and find him. So
We did tell him it was Brian, though.
yeah.
Well, I can say Tiernan doesn't want to get anyone specifically in trouble,
B,
so he's just
B.
going to say B.
He's like,
Maybe a Ben. or
I
something?
imagine it would have, if anyone was going to cause trouble out of the children, it probably would have been Brian. I will have a talk with his parents.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
Well, I mean, if he broke windows, he needs to be held responsible. You know,
If Grumpfel knew this conversation-
actions and consequences, Tiernan, they are important to keep a society functioning appropriately.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
Excellent. Well, I'll try and get that sorted out as well. But for now, please, I mean, you and your friends have done a great service to the town. Sit back, enjoy yourselves. Maybe even we can have a chat tomorrow, and you can help me try and work out what we're going to do with Peridin, and then I'm not sure what your plans are from there, but we can maybe have a conversation about it. If there's anything I can do to assist you with wherever you're all planning on heading to next.
Yeah, that would be great. I really don't know where the road's going to take me. I'm not even really used to roads.
Well, look, there's a couple of small. I mean, if you're looking for,
we'll talk
work
tomorrow.
or something.
We'll talk tomorrow.
No, sounds excellent. Sounds good. Fun tonight. Important work-related things tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Excellent. All right. Thank you again for all of your help here, Tiernan. I should go and continue talking with the rest of the townsfolk. And he turns
Could probably
around.
hydrate. Also,
Hydrate.
Well, I'll rejoin the group and just. Well, Wex is going to send somebody over to check on Heta, and don't worry, I've let him know that one of the kids was responsible for the windows, and he thinks he knows who it was.
Miera's probably just going to shoot Delgrim a bit of a panicked look.
let's find somewhere for this horse to stay night, and go check on Peridin, and make sure that we understand the full nature of his evil crimes. To make sure that is the focus of discussion tomorrow.
Good plan. I think that's a good idea. Where can we stash this horse? Or
Temple?
put the horse? There must be a stable? Do they have a stable?
The temple had room for firework cart.
There is a very small stable attached to the side of the inn that you can see from where you are. And like when I say small, it's like, you could maybe get 2 horses in their top sort of thing. This is a village where people generally don't stop here. Generally people just sort of pass through.
Well, that's what we were doing, and hey, look what happened to us. We got sucked into this for well over a week.
Well over a week. It's been 3 years. No. So what are you guys doing?
Just taking the horse somewhere to tie it up and then going to the inn.
Okay. All right. So you guys sort out the horse. You can take it to the stable and sort of get it set up in there. That's beside the inn. And then you guys head inside the Fleece and Scythe inn. Inside, you can see both Nissa and Duarte. They're quite busy. The inn's quite full now. There's various townsfolk making the most of what's going on, celebrating. The drinks are flowing freely. Duart's furiously sort of trying to get food out to people and the like. And as you all come inside, people sort of look around and there's this yay, like this little sort of cheer from the crowd. And as you make your way in, someone will reach out and sort of, Tiernan, you sort of feel a whack on your back as someone says, "Well done, lad, that was fantastic." And each of you sort of gets various sort of greetings and salutations and congratulations from people who are in here.
Then it would give shy little nods and a smile, but doesn't really engage with all the well wishes.
I think I'm gonna head towards the bar and maybe get something to eat. Because I don't think we've eaten today.
You would have probably found some time to eat somewhere in there, but I mean, still, absolutely, you can try and get some food for sure.
Oh, and while I'm there, if Nessa's at the bar,
yeah,
I'll just ask about where they're keeping Peridin.
Yeah, so you see, she's furiously sort of pouring ales and passing them around. And when she sees you, she just gives you this huge, warm smile. And as you ask, she's, "Oh yes, no, we've got Peridin. He's up in the third room on the left. The door is locked." She says, "I've got the key here, so we know we can't get out. We haven't put anybody to watch on the door because I didn't think it was needed. Unless you think we need to watch the door or something. I don't know. I kind of don't know how this sort of stuff works. We kind of haven't had anything like this before." And she leans in close to you, Miera, and she goes, "It's kind of exciting." It's like a hardened criminal. It's kind of thrilling in some respect. But anyway, so look, do you need something? Did you need to talk to him? I can give you the key if you need to go up there.
Yes, please. That would actually be really useful because we just wanted to ask a couple more questions about how he's got the fireworks stolen, and just check out the room, I guess. But if you don't mind, I'll bring it straight back.
Of course, I trust you completely. And she passes you the large iron key.
Thanks, Nessa.
Just, if you want to even hold on to it, I trust you all completely with that. You're probably better equipped than anybody else in this town to probably, look after a hardened criminal. So, but I can look after the key too if you need me to. Or if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. And
Thanks.
She's obviously really quite sort of, there's some part of Nissa which has been tweaked by the thrill of having this criminal being kept and her in. And off to the side, Duart's completely, absolutely 100% oblivious. He's just like spooning up bowls of stew and handing them out to people.
Delgrim will have gone to Duart super quickly.
Yeah.
While Miera's off talking to Nessa, just to ask about Rowan. Duart, I see you are handling bowls of soup. But
yeah,
did you find anything of our friend Rowan? Any word, any sign, any...
Oh, the other little halfling? No. I look around. I asked a few people. No one's seen her. Would she just leave, or?
I not know.
No.
You go back to your soup.
Okay. just keep going.
GM question.
Yes.
How expensive are fireworks in this world?
Like
they're a considerable cost, aren't they?
Look, I don't even think a roll. I think there would be no context for you like it would be, I think, for anybody in the group. In fact, it's like fireworks, who knows? They're absolutely not common at all.
So it's like grand larceny or something to steal fireworks. Like the level I'm trying to understand here.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows? I mean, they could have cost nothing. They could have cost millions of gold pieces.
You mentioned the conspiracy to murder. There was a whole aspect of it as well. It's not just some fancy explosions.
Just fancy explosions. This is Delgrim. Just fancy explosions. Anyway, okay. So, are you all heading up to Peridon's room now?
Tiernan was going to grab something to eat, but if he sees Miera start heading towards the stairs with the key.
Oh, I was going to grab something to eat too, and maybe just if we're all sitting at a table, I could let them know I've got the key.
Okay.
Oh, do you intend to talk to Peridon?
I don't know. I think it might be good. We want to make sure we've got as much evidence as we can for tomorrow.
I very much intend to talk to Peridon. What would you like to say?
Well, I'm a bit nervous with you holding a crossbow bolt there. I would like to join you guys this time. Just to make sure there's no more broken floors and scared old ladies.
Should we perhaps have Wex or someone join us so that there is a member of the township present?
There seems to be something more going on. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know, Delgrim, do you think we talk to him first and then bring up Wex? Have you ever held prisoners before?
No, I've not been involved in prisoner interrogation directly. It is not uncommon.
I think interrogation is a bit of a strong word here. I think Wex should join us for a witness and someone that perhaps can look at this from a township point of view, because even though the time we've spent here has been wonderful, we are not members of the township.
Wex indicated to me that tonight was going to be mostly sort of a joyous occasion with the fireworks and so forth, with business tomorrow. Did we want to reserve that for tomorrow, if you wanted Wex involved?
Can do this. What about Peridon's friend? Sad elf.
Perhaps we should keep a watch then to make sure that he stays put.
I mean to assist with interrogation, and I mean questioning.
Was that Glassam, the old elf?
Galatian was the bugbear.
We never got the elf's name, I don't think.
Correct.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't give anything away.
That bugbear, elf bugbear, all look same.
I have a theory on what's going on. I suspect that Peridon has been selling off as much as he can of his family's assets to impress potentially a suitor from Deep Cove, and perhaps he's completely out of his depth. I don't know. That's the information That's the theory I've determined from the information provided. Does anyone else have any theories?
He didn't have much left in his house.
This is true.
And Deep Cove was mentioned a couple of times. I just wanted to check the room just to make sure there wasn't like a big window that Peridon could kind of jump out of and all that.
Didn't Grumpfel already do that? Grumpfel? What did you know?
I asked the members of what passes for the constabulary here to ensure that he was unable to leave the room of his own free will. I asked them to make sure that he didn't have any keys or anything on him, and to make sure that the door and any windows were secure.
Nessa said there's no one watching, so that's all.
Yes, perhaps we should have someone go up and keep watch.
I will watch.
I'll help with that.
Is Nessa still nearby, Hamish?
Yep, she's sort of all over the place, sort of helping everyone out, but absolutely.
Might just sort of flag her attention, and when she comes over, we might just ask her about the room, if there are any other exits other than the door, and if there is a window that's serviceable.
Oh yes, I mean there's a second window, but I mean he's on the second story, so he'd have to jump down, and it's a straight fall. There's no balcony or anything like that. But I mean,
the window is locked, isn't it, Nessa?
No. Why would no? Don't have locks on the windows. Why would you want to lock on the second story window?
Grumpfel might.
Do you think he might try and escape?
Grumpfel just going to get up and head to the door to look for where the window is outside, or even just do a circle of the building to look for any open windows on the second floor.
Okay. Well, Grumpfel, so you head outside and sort of do a quick lap around the inn,
Sorry.
I was just going to say, as I've said before, this place is not very big at all. So it's like it's a whip around in a couple of minutes. No, all the windows that you can see are definitively closed. The other thing would also be the windows aren't huge, and Peridin is Furbolg, which is very large. So, he could possibly get through a window, but it would certainly be more of a challenge for him.
Peridin is weakling and coward. He's very unlikely to jump out the window to almost certain death.
Yeah, I agree. He's too big, and he seems a bit useless.
Should we perhaps go up and make sure he's still in the room?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I wanted to also just have a quick look in Rowan's room just to see if she's come back.
Yes.
Has there been any word about Rowan yet?
Not that I've heard.
No, I haven't. I don't think so.
The Ward had not been able to find any clue of Rowan.
Hostage check, people.
Hostage check, yeah.
Hostage check. Okay, so what I'm hearing at this stage is it sounds like you're going to go and have to go and so you're going and checking Rowan's room, and then you're going to go and see Peridin. Yep. Okay.
Tiernan has no concerns about Peridin potentially escaping, but he does have a few concerns about them interrogating Peridin. So he's just going to stand back and let them just follow them a little bit, but still be as part of the group. He's not going to try to stalk them or anything.
Okay. So you guys go and check out Rowan's room, and it's in the same state that you left it. All of her. Did you take her gear with you? I can't remember. I think you did, didn't you?
I took her ring. It's in my pocket.
Yeah.
Scratch, guys. Oh, you're slouching.
The gear, I think, is still in the room. All of her.
Yeah, I think we left everything.
Yeah. So all of her gear is still neatly in the corner, neatly piled up on like a little chair and stuff like that. Exactly the way you left it.
Well, we weren't going to gather it all up and move her out of there because we're not sure where she's gone. But there's no reason to not to think that she isn't coming back.
Yeah, you have no idea what the beef is. So with having a look in the room and discovering that doesn't appear to have been anything going on there. You guys head to Peridin's room. Miera, you take out the large iron key and unlock the door, and it swings open. And then
I was going to say before anyone opens it, I was just going to listen at the door to see if there's any sounds, voices, anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. Make a perception check for me.
Perception. Oh, yes. There's anyone got a bingo card? There's an at 20 for 24.
Yeah. Outstanding. You have a listen, and you can't. You can hear sort of the sound of someone sort of shuffling inside, but it's more like feet dragging on the floor, maybe like they're, sort of idly kicking or anything like that. There's nothing untoward about the noise, but you can hear definitely that there's someone in there.
Can I tell with that?
Miera unlocks the door while he's listening at it.
Well, with the nat 20, with the 24, can I hear? Like, I know he's not hiding behind the door; he's in the other side of the room, sort of thing.
You would. I mean, that's a really good roll. Like, I mean, but it's still.
Because if I can hear shuffling, it's not close to the door; it's away from the door. So I know that he's not going to try and ambush us and rush out.
No, it doesn't sound like he's right on the other side of the door or anything like that. No. Okay. So, opening the door, Miera, you rattle the key around. The door swings open, and you can see Peridin. He's sitting on the bed on the opposite side of the room, sort of idly, his foot. It's not really swinging because his legs are too long, but he's just sort of dragging it backwards and forwards, and almost sort of like a nervous sort of habit. His shoulders are slumped, and in front of you is the look of someone who is defeated and forlorn. His head sort of shoots up when he hears the door, and when he sees the four of you standing there as you come inside, a collection of expressions crosses his face. For a brief moment, there's maybe a little bit of anger, then frustration, and then just almost like fear or panic. Especially when he sort of looks at you, Delgrim, and he goes, "What do you want? You've got me. You caught me. What do you want now?"
So Delgrim's just gonna. He's still got Peridin's sword, right?
He does. Yes, correct.
And he'll just kind of, thumb around with the edge of the sword a bit and stay nice and quiet and not really say anything, and just sort of look over to Miera and Grumpfel and, "Would you like to ask questions of our friend?"
I think we were just wanting to check to make sure our guest was still in his room, and that was all for this evening.
Miera's going to take out a sparkle cookie, and hand it to Peridin, and just look at him and just shake her head and say, "Peridin, what trouble did you get yourself into?"
He seems super surprised when you sort of offer the cookie.
P.S. The cookie is really good.
And he sort of hesitates for a moment, but then takes it off you. And then when you say that, he looks at you and he says, none of this was meant to. This wasn't meant to happen. This wasn't. I know what I did was wrong. I know that I shouldn't have stolen the fireworks. I know. Look, I want to just make this really clear. It's not my fault that person died. No one was meant to die. No one was meant to get hurt. This was just about money. Nothing else. It was Tobin who was the one who was responsible for killing that other person. Not me. I did not want anybody hurt. I wanted to make some money, and now it's all turned to shit, and I'm going to get killed, and this is and you can actually see like a large tear start to roll down the side of his face.
I'm going to give him enough of a benefit of the doubt to actually roll an insight check on that.
Okay.
I think.
Make your roll, Mr. Delgrim.
Can I be of any assistance?
Not really.
Because that was a nat 1.
That was a
So,
nat. Oh dear.
Assist away.
I feel like it's how would you assist with an insight check? You can make your own insight check if you want,
Okay.
but I think an insight check's one of those ones where it's a little bit hard to assist with because it's about reading the other person's body language and stuff. And I feel like Delgrim with that natural 1, maybe that's kind of demonstrating Delgrim's bias potentially.
Miera's going to sit on the bed next to Peridin and just pat his hand and do an insight check as well.
Okay.
Can I cast guidance on that?
No. So,
Okay.
so I'll be super clear because I guidance is one of those things where I feel you've got to be careful where it's used. Insight check. So guidance is for use when you're doing a tangible skill. So you can see someone's about to do something.
Okay.
I'm going to try and take a look. Insight
Makes
check.
sense because you don't know. There's no. You don't know they're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
suss them out.
It's not like Miera goes, hold on guys, I'm just going to make an insight check. So Peridin, are you
Yeah.
lying? What are you fucking saying? So yeah.
If she
The,
did that, I
the
could-
rubbing of the temples is a dead giveaway.
So Miera, what did you roll?
A 14 plus
14.
3, so 17.
You are sitting beside a distraught and broken Furbolg. He seems all pretense of sort of his superiority that he has tried to wave around. All of that is gone.
just got this visual image of this tiny halfling
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
this
yeah.
Furbolg's hand.
Yeah, she's patting his leg when she sits beside him. But no, he and you can see there's more tears.
So I'm sure somewhere in my pocket I will have like a little tissue or something like that.
Mhm.
I'm going to pass him a tissue and I'm going to say, Peridin, we're going to be talking to Wex tomorrow about all of this. You need to make sure that you tell us the truth. We need to know what you were planning to do. It went wrong. But what were you planning on doing? Why did you need the money? And who's going to kill you?
He takes the tiny hanky and like puts it up to his big Furbolg nose. He's like, and the hanky's too small and it's a bit sort of messy. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wipes the tears away. He's like, I mean, look, it was. I was just trying to impress Alfina. I mean, it was like if I could impress her, then maybe Lord Trenson would let me marry her, and then I could get out of this shitty little town, and I could get somewhere where people would respect me and like me. But now, Miera, I borrowed a lot of money from a very, very bad person. And if I don't pay that person back, he's going to kill me.
Who?
Who?
Was it Lord Trenson?
No. Everyone calls him purse strings.
Oh,
But-
strange.
He's like a money lender in Deep Cove, but not he's not part of the Hallister banking syndicate. He's because I can't go to them anymore because I've had to borrow so much money from them as well. But he's someone who just like will lend you money, but if you don't pay him back, then bad things. And then Tolbin robbed me, and I've got until the end of next month before to pay all the debts back, or
How much, Peridin?
all up about 750 gold pieces.
Was this money? Was it purse strings? Was he at your residence when we were there last? The gentleman didn't say much. Was elven of appearance?
No, that was my personal tailor. No, that wasn't purse strings. Is in Deep Cove.
Right. I just wanted to make sure, because if that individual was him, then at least we know who we're looking and dealing with.
No. Purse strings in Deep Cove. God, look, please. I don't want to die. I know what I've done is bad. I know what I've done is terrible. I didn't kill anyone. I promise. I cross my heart. I will. I don't know how I can prove it to you because I know everything that's happened, but I swear I never ever meant for anybody to die. But I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Well, don't worry about that for now.
But where am I going to get 700? Like, Tolkien took everything else. Where am I going to get that kind of money from? And then,
if only we had like a treasure map or something.
Slow clap.
Nice. Very, very nice. Well done.
Andra.
Yes.
The sweetest halfling you'll ever meet.
Yeah, fucking sweet my ass. To which Paradin goes,
That's no sparkle cookie.
oh, I mean, there's the old map back at my house. I mean, like my father gave it to me, but it belonged to my grandfather before that, and he got it when he was working for one of the old mercenary companies, and it's just sort of been passed down through the last couple of generations. But I mean, no one in my family apart from my grandfather none of us are treasure hunters.
And no one's ever gone looking for it?
No, I mean, it's far off somewhere in the Scimitar Mountains apparently, and I mean, I'm no adventurer like you. I can't swing swords or fight monsters. I don't know where this leads. It's the only thing I remember my father telling me was that it's apparently it was some old gem mine or something like that. But I mean, I don't even know how far away it is. I don't even know where it is. All I know is it's somewhere in the Scimitar Mountains.
It's a shame you paid people to steal fireworks and not go looking for that treasure instead.
But it could have been. But I didn't. But the fireworks was going to be that was meant to be easy. That was meant, like, no one was meant to get hurt. That was meant to be straightforward and simple. And if I had have sent people off to this place, wherever this, they could have been gone for months. I don't know. I don't know how treasure hunting works. It might not even be real. It could have, whoever gave it to my grandfather could have been lying. If you want it, take it. I don't care. Unless, do you...
Can we have that in writing to present to Netta, please?
He gives Grumpfel a bit of a... if you...
It's fine. Well, details later.
You can write it on back of note what Tobin confessed to you hiring him and directly asking him to make sure murder happened.
No, I didn't ask him to make murder happen.
You say he robbed you.
Yes.
He robbed you and he not take mystery treasure map? What he take?
The fireworks. Neat.
There might have been more than just fireworks.
What did Tobin rob you of?
Come on, Paradin.
Look, I was trying to impress people, okay? And the great houses in Deep Cove have got certain tastes, certain things that they enjoy, and so When I got the loan from Purse Strings, he gave me a contact in Harrow where I could buy fairy dust.
Fairy dust. What
is fairy dust?
Fairy dust is it's a drug. It's something that the nobles like to use at their big fancy parties. And if I could have turned up at one of the Transon's big fancy parties, I would have been able to impress them by being able to give them all of these wonderful things that are normally really hard to get, because you can't, like, you basically have to go. The only way to source them, like, Harrow's basically the only place you can get it from, unless you want to go even further east, and then you're getting into Kingsvale. And unless you've got contacts in Tilworth, I mean, there's no way to get it. So, like, this was going to be my end. This was going to be the way I was going to impress them, by providing them with this.
With drugs?
Yes, that's what the people of Deep Cove do. That's what the nobility does.
And Tolbin took that.
It was he had the crates with it in the cave. He was meant to be holding on to it with the fireworks. But he would have taken that. I mean, unless he's left it in the cave, but I doubt that, because he was the one who got the drugs for me.
Do you remember seeing anything else in those caves? I don't think so.
There were crates which you never looked into. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, it seems like you've got yourself into a really big mess. But I think it's important that you stay here, and tomorrow when Wex comes, you need to tell him all of this. You need to be honest to the people that you're supposed to be leading.
I suppose so. But what am I gonna do about this money? I can't.
Well,
I can't give them my house. The bank owns my house. I can't. Unless I can find 750 gold pieces by the end of next month.
Is this 750 the total of all of your loans?
With purse strings, yes.
And the bank?
The bank. I would need to check. Some of the paperwork with the bank. I honestly can't remember. But I mean, at this stage, the bank basically owns the house. The bank basically owns all of the family lands. The bank basically owns everything. That's why.
What does the family lands entail? This doesn't entail their village, does it?
No. There's a bunch of farmland. And so we hire some of the people from the village to work the farmland, but no. I don't know what would happen if Purse Strings turns up here, and I'm not here. I'm not sure what he'll do.
Yeah, so that's
I don't think
you need to tell people.
I think this warrants further discussion, but let me just say, if you want to impress people, the right people, having a village under your care, have nothing but respect for you, would be the best way to impress people, including young ladies. The way you're doing it doesn't sound like it's going to be. That's not going to last the distance. Take it for someone who's seen a few things that other stories I could tell you, but I think what we need to do once we help you work out this situation is, I think if you can find a way to lead and administer those under your care to foster respect within them, I think you'll find people will hold you in higher esteem than providing short-term fancies.
Mr. Grumpfel, can you please make me a persuasion check with advantage?
Bother, I thought you were going to just give me that one.
Nah, because I want to get some dice rolling.
Persuasion.
There's reasons. There's always reasons.
Persuasion, you say?
Yep.
All right, let's have a
With
try.
advantage.
Hang on, let me just have a look, see if I've got guidance up my sleeve. No, I have resistance. That's not going to work. I'm not casting resistance on him. Let's see. Persuasion. You sure didn't say perception?
Yes.
Okay. Persuasion. First roll 12.
Yep. Second roll.
Come on, please. Daddy needs new shoes. No, the first one's better. 12.
Okay. You can see sort of a look of confusion and frustration on the Furbolg's face.
He likes it, but he's not sold.
And he's like, look, I know what you're saying, but you don't understand about how the great houses work. They don't care about little villages like Greenfield. This is nothing. Someone could come along and wipe this village off the face of the map, and they wouldn't care. It doesn't mean anything to them.
Would he know about the Sverfneblin community and what they produce?
Paradin?
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Did you say that Grumpfel has a little chit of the thing?
Yep.
Grumpfel would just hold his hand up and he'll
Yep.
pull out this little chit. He said, do you know what this is?
Some sort of crystal or something?
I'll hold it closer so he can see it. The little piece of that clay.
He's like, no,
Okay. I'm trying to remember now what it's blooming called. What do we call it?
the actual crystal itself.
No, like the finished product.
Oh, I can't remember if we.
We did have a name. We did have a name, and I've gone blank on it. Hang on, let me just quickly look through my notes. It was so Terralite, being mined and refined, but when it was, what do we call it when it was baked into the clay that became hard as steel?
I am looking through my notes as well.
Oh man, what a time to draw a blank.
Yeah. Gosh, this is what happens when you deep cut back to some stuff that we worked out ages ago that I wasn't expecting. That's okay. That's okay. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's keep the ball rolling.
Yep. Anyway, so we'll come back to that.
Yep.
All right. I said, in brief, my clan many years ago did not stand for those larger than them pushing people around. We came from far, far away, and the leaders of the clan I call home decided one day enough was enough, and they changed their future. I am sure, and thanks to this little thing, our clan is becoming prosperous. I am sure that whatever happens, you can find a way to find prosperity.
He doesn't look super convinced, but he does look at this thing with some interest. And he says, oh, I mean, that's great, but I mean, maybe once I need to fix this money problem, and then once that's done, maybe then I need to
yes
reassess.
This is not a short-term goal. This is a long-term goal. Yes, I think there is discussion about your current situation, and I am not on behalf of my fellows volunteering us to do anything at this stage. The mess is of your making, but not to say that we are heartless and not going to offer some assistance, but perhaps a future plan to so that you're not tempted to take shortcuts will help you win the respect and admiration of those within this very beautiful area.
And with that, Delgrim will take Paradin's sword, and he's still sitting on the bed, right?
Yeah. Beside Miera.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and stab it very, very loudly, just right between his feet, and kind of lean on it and peer up into his face.
So Peridin just about shits himself. Like he's laser focused on Grumpfel, and as you do, like he's almost like just tunnel vision. And then when you do this, like Miera, you see Miera bounce on the bed. He he jumps so much from this, and his eyes sort of go wide with fright as he looks at you.
This is my recommendation for long-term betterment of your soul. To help you, as indicated by friend Grumpfel. You are going to pay for your crimes against this town. They will hold you to account for orchestrating a conspiracy to steal firework, resulting in murder of townsfolk. Tolban will be believed or you will be believed. It no matter to me. Bank will probably steal your house. You have nothing. And money lender will probably kill you. This will be sad for you, but it is consequences of actions, and for the betterment of your soul long term, you should become comfortable with this. I recommend you eat Sparkle Cookie. It's very good, and enjoy it, because it may be the last meal you ever have. And with that, Delgrim will take the sword and just saunter out of the room entirely.
This whole time while Delgrim was saying that, Tiernan's been leaning up against the wall listening to the whole thing, just shaking his head. When Delgrim starts talking, he's nodding in agreement. And Delgrim leaves and Tiernan's like, what he said summed it up pretty well. Turned around and walked out the room.
Peridin's still got a shocked expression on his face as he looks at you, Grumpfel, and then down at you, Miera, and he's just like, Don't
panic, Peridin.
But your friends just basically said that I'm going to die, that they're not. I thought you wanted to. You and the gnome was talking about wanting to help, but then.
I mean, if you keep going the way things are at the moment, that's a very good possibility. So maybe we need to work out a way of fixing it.
Well, how are we going to? But what about
we need to
what about the
Wex.
dwarf? What about the dwarf? I mean, is he going to kill me or something? Or
he's a bit of a hothead, but it's okay.
And what about him? And he points at you, Tiernan. You're agreeing with him. What do you think I should die?
You made your own bet, Peridin. You had many choices and you made terrible ones. You got to accept the consequences of your actions. But I want to fix
them now. I want to try and fix them. I know what I did was wrong, but
every decision you've made has led you to this point, and the death of a completely innocent person. Anything you do now is going to make things worse? You're literally at rock bottom. What possible thing could you do now to make it better?
To make it. Well, if I can. If I can
get any worse.
I can't. If I can get the money, then I can pay off purse strings, and then I can help Greenfield. I mean, I want to be a better person. I know I've made some terrible choices, but I can't. That's all I want to do. I don't want to die.
Peridin, I think we need to have this conversation again with Wex tomorrow.
Yes, very much so.
A plan. For you need to make a plan. And maybe that map will help. Maybe it won't. Maybe you can find a solution with the townspeople. But the least you owe them is, a heads up to suggest that potentially
let's not say
coming.
Heads up.
Well,
an explanation.
Some warning that there may be someone coming.
He looks down at you, Miera, and he says, Maya, will you make sure that no one kills me? You'll make sure your friends won't, and you'll try and help me get out of this?
Well, I don't know who Maya is, but I think if you have a conversation with Wax tomorrow, maybe everyone can come up with a plan. My mum always said 2 heads were better than 1, so think of how many other people we could bring in and brainstorm.
Okay.
Have a bite of the cookie, it'll make you feel better.
I think tomorrow
He sort of takes a bite, and you know how like when children are not paying attention when they eat, and like half the cookie kind of falls out. He sort of, I was like a couple of crumbs, and like half the cookie sort of falls onto his very expensive tunic, and he's just like, okay, crumbs. I'll talk to Wex tomorrow.
Okay. And we'll be there too.
Including him and the dwarf, and he points at you, Tiernan.
Yeah, everyone will be there.
Tiernan's left the room at this point, unfortunately, yeah.
Everyone will be there, but it's always good to hear everyone's side of the story.
Okay.
Just don't leave the room.
I've got nowhere to go.
Okay.
Got nothing.
All right, we'll see you in the morning. Then get some sleep.
Okay.
And Miera will jump off the bed and head to the door.
Okay. As you guys hydrate, and the evening begins to draw to a close, is there anything that you're wanting to do before the following day?
Tiernan wanted to chase down Delgrim as he was leaving. And Delgrim, Harrowfell mentioned the Scimitar Mountains. You familiar with that location at all?
It's not ring any rock.
I was pouring drinks and slamming to myself. Both of you.
Like, wait, am I? Hamish is going nuts. What's going on? No, so the Scimitar Mountains isn't where Delgrim's from, is it?
No,
It's
however.
Boomrot Mountains. It's a whole other mountain.
It is. It is a completely different mountain. Both of you would be. The Scimitar Mountains is a big enough mountain range that I feel that both of you would probably have at least an inkling of it. It is to the east of where you guys are. Probably 2 to 3 weeks travel, maybe. It is a very, very large mountain range, which sort of almost cuts the continent of Paldorn in half. On one side you have Kingsvale, and on the other side you have Tillwith.
I have small inkling. I think it east from here.
Well, dude, I'm just trying to. I'm aware that it is a mountain range which sort of splits the continent, but it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack for a gem mine. But I'm more interested in the geographical aspect of the mountains. Are they? How high would you say in elevation they are to the rest of the continent?
Oh, you
are they particularly high?
The wrong dwarf about height of mountain, my friend.
Oh, okay. I wonder if Grumpfel would have Grumpfel's from the south, isn't he?
This is possible.
Okay, I might have a bit of a conversation with Grumpfel. Just curious how high these mountains are. No reason.
Why it's important for you to know how high a mountain is?
No reason. And Tiernan just turns and literally just ends the conversation by walking away. Goes to try to find Grumpfel.
Are we all out of the room now?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, I'm going to lock it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the key back to Nessa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, she's more than happy to take it. Tiernan, you find Grumpfel with few issues.
Grumpfel, how Peridon mentioned the Scimitar Mountains. How familiar are you with that mountain range?
No, in passing. My clan has established themselves within the Crimson Ranges, to a smaller range to the south of the Scimitar Mountains. Although we have had trade with them, I myself have been on a trade caravan with them a few times. Not a great deal more to the south. Why do you ask?
I'm a bit unfamiliar with the mountain ranges in the continent. Like I know the names and so forth, but beyond that, I don't really know. Like in terms of elevation height, like you talk about the Scarlet Range. How, if you were to pick the highest mountain in the region, would you choose the Scarlet Range, or would you choose the Scimitar Ranges, or would it be another range entirely?
The Scarlet Range.
Sorry, what
the Crimson Range.
Crimson. I'm terribly
right.
sorry.
Yes, that's right. I was thinking all of a sudden we've got geographical uprising. Yes, I would say that the Scimitar Mountains would be of a higher elevation than the Crimson Range, just given it is a much vaster range than the Crimson Range. So I dare say that there would be higher mountains within their peaks.
Okay. Are they the highest mountains on the continent, or are there others?
Oh,
Grumpfel, you can make a history check. Go, G-Man, you got this.
Let's have a look. History.
And also, fucking huge shout out for Heath busting out some like just effortless knowledge of the world there. That was well done, sir.
I actually was looking at a map earlier today,
yeah,
and I have the image still open, so I was able to sort of cheat a little bit too with that. And I am a bit of a rock nut myself, so sort of knowing a bit about topography, geology, that sort of thing. I do like to play to that. Let's see, history. Come on. No, that's not going to cut much. That's 6 + 1 is 7. So Grumpfel's having a bit of a senior moment.
Yeah, look, it's even then, you'd be very probably. Like you wouldn't be able to sort of spit out, they're roughly this height, but the Scimitar Mountains are easily the biggest mountains that you've ever encountered. And with your travels, there's a few places that you've encountered with various ranges and the like. So,
what's your answer, Grumpfel?
Yes. Yes, I just spoke it with a Kiwi accent, and that's all.
Yeah. Oh no, they're tall as bro.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't expend a lot of time with geography when I was back on the Rock, so back at my hometown of Carthobal. But thanks, it's been most enlightening.
No, happy being a deep gnome. I am very happy to talk about geology and rocks, given that's where my clan finds themselves. It is a bit of a wonder being above ground and venturing with such good folk as yourselves, and seeing greenery is a lovely change. But when it comes to it, I do like the treasures from within the ground.
Tiernan just nods, and then, well, I might retire to my room for now.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do this evening?
Grumpfel might just grab a bit more of a bite and a drink. In relation to rooms that the party have, given that Rowan is not here as well, what's the proximity to the room that Peridon has?
There'd be one just straight across the hall from him. There's only a small number of rooms in this place. It is tiny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just sort of thinking about keeping an ear out or checking or that sort of thing.
Yep, for sure.
And Delgrim's camping outside the door.
Oh,
of
okay,
the room
cool.
That Peridon's in and has an axe to attune to before he potentially
Alright.
nods off.
Achievement unlocked. I mentioned my home name correctly. Correctly.
Excellent.
Well done.
Excellent. We're slowly getting used to this funky world.
Thank you for giving me such a complicated name to say.
Oh, dude, it's no Zerplethorpe. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Can I
I gave
do-
myself Narvalorge. What?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
did I
yeah,
do
yeah.
that?
Yeah. Now say it with the accent. Oh, Narvalorge.
Narvalorge.
Narvalorge. Okay, anyway, so
Can
anything
Miera
else
do
you want-
one thing before?
yes, absolutely Miera can.
I've got Rowan's ring. Is there like in the bedrooms? Is there like, fireplaces or anything like that?
No.
Okay. I wasn't gonna burn it, but I was thinking, like kind of like the one ring, just hold it in the fire and see if there's anything that comes up. I'm just gonna I just want to examine it closely.
Okay, make an investigation roll.
And polish it on my shirt and stuff.
Okay. It is a little bit tarnished.
One
Good
mirror,
help.
one mirror to rule them all.
Okay, so that's a 16 investigation plus 3, so 19.
19. Okay. I mean, you give it a good examination, and again, it's no different than when you looked at the first time. Like there is that sort of small rivulet of the tiger stone that runs through sort of the top of it, little sort of compartmenty thing on the top. But apart from that, yeah, it's a ring.
Can I open the compartment?
No, you can't. Like you try to, and you can't even find where there's a latch or anything.
All right, I'm just going to tuck it away in my pocket then.
Okay. What's in your pockets? Okay. So with that, right, yeah. So with that, you guys all retire to your respective rooms or camp outside doors.
Is Grumpfel's room opposite to you're saying some opposite? No, it's
Yeah.
He may.
And retire for the evening. Delgrim, you can attune to your axe. And with that, you all eventually find sleep and awake the next morning. The night is uneventful. Delgrim, at no point, there's a few times where you hear people coming up the stairs a couple of times, which sort of sparks you awake. But yeah, certainly no attempt from Peridon to try and get out the door, or you don't hear any unusual noises or anything like that. You all wake up the next morning, get dressed, get organised. Where to from here?
Guess we meet up in the morning, the breakfast table. Oh, I honestly think that Peridon is guilty. His actions have caused someone to die, and he just keeps doubling down on making terrible decisions. And he's made his bed, so he's just got to deal with it, really. No one can help him now.
He's coward and he's failed to protect his people.
I don't really see, even if we could help him, should we?
I don't know whether necessarily we'd be helping him, but if he's got a price on his head and he disappears from Greenfield, what will happen to the villagers?
Wex seems to control, or seems to be managing fine. It's just a hereditary title, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it could still be a problem. They need to know about it.
Despite his failings, Peridon is a known. This other crew from Deep Cove and this purse strings are unknowns, and I don't like the sound of it. No, I'm not saying that he should be absolved of what he's done. I simply think that given what these people could be, he may still be the better choice for Greenfields.
No. He has failed them and he is coward. He cannot protect them. He chooses not to protect them. He chase his imagined better things in a whole other area. They hold him to judgment, and we ask Township what they want.
Well, what's a money lender going to do once they can't collect the debt from one person? You know, that's bad investment, isn't it? If
They kill him.
they kill him, then isn't that the payment? I'm not condoning the actions. I'm just saying that
I'm
thinking
getting their money back.
the purse strings moneylender is one thing. I'm thinking there are the debts to this bank that he spoke of, and especially if the bank is in Deep Cove, with nobility aplenty in Deep Cove, I think the debt will be sold or given, perhaps to a noble of even less savoury standing, and then what of the poor village?
well, you don't know that, Grumpfel.
I do not know that. I'm just speculating, but I'm sort of saying, I mean, the debt could be passed to someone who could really do good things with Greenfields, but we at this stage, it's speculation and we just do not know, but it warrants thinking of.
I just don't believe we should get involved further. To be perfectly honest.
I'm a gnome. I can't help but find the intrigue of money and politics.
Can I ask a DM question?
Sure.
How many gold and one platinum? Is it 10? Or it is 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiernan owes 750.
Yep.
Okay. So just we found when we were looking in Peridon's house, we found a chest, and it had some coins in there. And I noticed that he didn't mention that when we were talking to him about the treasure map that he has in his house.
Well, how much money did he have in there?
There was a platinum coin in there and 2 gold coins and 2 silver coins.
Wow, he's really broke for a noble.
Yeah. But it's still something that could be used to put towards paying off. I don't know. I'm just maybe he's got other stuff hidden around there that he's not telling us about that could be used to help it. Maybe he's still trying to salvage something of his noble status.
Well, that could be money. That could be his funds for upkeep of the establishment and the land. He did say that he used locals he hired locals to work the land.
He hired locals to steal firework. That is not working land. He make his choice. He be judged. He be punished.
I think we should speak to Wax about it.
Well, without a doubt,
Tiernan needs to confess completely.
If there is risk to Greenfield and our new friends, the residents of Greenfield, this is potential concern. But I think I would like to hear this from Wex and townsfolk rather than Peridon.
Yes, of course.
I do not like to hear words come from his face.
Yeah. Oh, look. As much as I have begrudgingly warmed to him, we must be impartial. This isn't our home. We are here temporarily.
Not to mention, like 750 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, that's come up.
That's just the money lender. Don't forget, he couldn't give us a figure to what he owed the banks of Deep Cove.
Yes, but correct me if I'm wrong. Banks can always be negotiated with to a certain extent, and at the end, the banks aren't going to come through and maim and kill. Whereas
no, that's true.
Well,
Pig
look,
house.
I've only got-
most banks. I have heard of some banks that will when they say that the percentage costs you an arm and a leg, it really does.
So, Grumpfel, can you make a history roll for me, please?
Sure.
How many arms? How many legs?
Yeah.
Typically.
Welcome to the Bank of Centipede.
Oh,
Natural 1. There we go.
Oh,
Hang on. No,
wow.
sorry. No. My apologies. No, it's not. It's a 3.
okay.
It was a 4 in total. History is +1, so that's a 3 + 1 is 4.
Okay.
Just because the history is +1, I saw that and thought it was a natural 1. No, it's 3 + 1 for history is 4 in total, but it's still not a good result.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So, off to see Mr. Wex.
Just before we go, I just think that there's no way we can possibly help someone who is 750 gold pieces in the hole. There's nothing of value, even a supposed treasure map isn't where the Scimitar Mountains, hypothetically, even if we were to go there and collect it, if we even find it, that's over 2 weeks away, is it not? Isn't it due? Isn't the loan due in a month? Possible. Can't achieve. Impossible. Can't do it.
Before we do go and see Wex, can we just sort of poke our nose in and make sure Peridon's still in there and it's not some sort of plot device? We all go and come back, and then he was murdered in the small hours, and we're all arguing outside a door, belonging to a corpse.
Swinging from the rafters.
Oh, don't
Hashtag
say that.
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pop upstairs, or even just directly across the hall, or whatever, wherever you guys are currently situated, and poke your head into the room. And a Peridon is still in there, looking like someone who has not slept at all. He looks dishevelled. His clothes are all rumpled. He sort of looks at you, blurry-eyed, and he goes, "Oh, is Wex here? Is it time for the conversation?" Well,
Good morning. No, not yet. We'll have some breakfast sent up to you. We're just checking in to make sure that you're still here.
I'm not. Where else would I be?
Oh, I hear the Scimitar Mountains are good this time. No, no, just making sure that you sort of at least got some rest. Must go, and he closed the door and he'll lock it and go back down.
Okay. So are you guys going to go and see Wex, or are you getting Wex to sort of have someone come and bring Wex here?
Or wasn't Wex going to come and speak to, or was that the decision we made?
No, that's right. Yes, there had been a brief conversation the night before to sort of have conversation. So cool. Thank you for reminding me, John. So it's only like maybe an hour later where Wex finally turns up. Sort of sees you all downstairs and says, how's young Peridon? Was there any issues last night, or?
He's 750 gold in the hole.
I'm sorry, what hole? I don't understand.
I think he's got a lot to tell you, Wex. It might be best if we just go up and start having a conversation.
Well, I'm happy to follow your lead with this. And with that, are you all steaming up there?
Tiernan's not. He's got better things to do.
Okay, right. So Tiernan's got other stuff to do. What about the rest of the group?
And Grumpfel will go.
Yep.
Yeah, Delgrim will, but he's clearly impatient.
Yeah.
With the process. Yeah. Wants
Okay.
to see some justice
Yeah.
meted.
Look out, Jesus. All right. And Miera, you're going up too, I'm assuming? Yep. John, you're going to say something?
Yeah, Tiernan thinks better of this because last time he let the group out of his sight. He's going to be there, but he's going to be in the background. He's not really invested in this. He's already made his own internal decision regarding Peridon. So
Okay. So you guys all head upstairs and unlock the door. And Peridon's he sort of tried a little bit to maybe try and straighten his clothes up, but it's been very much a half-hearted attempt. And when he sees Wex, sort of his eyes drop. And Wex says, Peridin, it sounds like you've got a few things that you need to be talking to me about. And with that, Peridin just basically verbal diarrhea. He just tells, in like one long stream of just everything, tells Wex the entire story. Yep, he hired Tolbin to get fireworks. I was trying to get the fireworks to impress Alfina Trenson so that he could get out of the town. Yes, he brought drugs as well. He got it all, the money through a loan from Purse Strings and Deep Cove, and Tolbin took everything, and they found the fireworks, and he didn't mean for this person to die. It was never his intention for him to get hurt. And so he sort of finishes with going, I don't know what to do. I know what some of these others have said, but and I know that I should, actions have consequences, but I want to be better. I don't want to die. Wex looks back to you all. A look of obvious concern on his face. And says, this is more complicated than I had originally anticipated.
Focus on crime at hand. All this story of money lending and wanting to impress lady and having Tobin steal, it's not important. Crime is theft of firework and murder of townsfolk. That is crime for which you and town should judge this coward.
And drug dealing. Or trafficking.
If you have a problem with that. Not everyone does.
I'm unsure of the situation with your claims in regards to him having murdered someone. I understand where you're coming from in regards to his actions have potentially led to this, but try to see the best in people, and I've known Peridin his whole life, and I don't believe that he would have intentionally wanted anybody to get hurt. But, as you said, his actions have led to this. In regards to purse strings and the money, there are definitely implications to this village. But it may be that come time for this purse strings to collect, maybe we just give him the Nifglade home and the lands. The bank, I honestly, I don't know how to deal with that situation either.
You should not need to. This is Peridin's problem, it's not yours.
It is Peridin's problem, but there are implications to this village. If the bank, for example, was to claim these lands, then they could be sold off. And to be frank, there are certainly people who we would like to not purchase that and have sway over this village, whilst Peridin's example of leadership has definitely been wanting. His forebearers were certainly far better than anyone who I can anticipate coming in at this point in time. It may be wise to seek out someone else that could maybe buy the land. And in the meantime...
Do you know anyone who has this kind of wealth who could buy land that you would be comfortable with as custodian of town?
Wex pauses for a moment as he has a bit of a think. There's a lot of money, especially amongst the great houses in Deep Cove, but they don't harbour a huge amount of trust. The only one... The only one that I can think of, the Altons, potentially. They are a family that reside in Harrow. They have considerable wealth, and from the dealings that I've had with Harrow, probably one of the more trustworthy families, but even then, there's many complications amongst the nobility of Alamar. This may be a better of a bad bunch. I'm really not sure.
Well, it seems like...
Yeah, Tiernan, what do you say?
Well, if there's implications for the village, Wex, the only thing of value that Peridon has put forward is a miscellaneous treasure map, the Scimitar Mountains. I can't speak for everybody here, but I know we would like to help. We could potentially try to chase down this miscellaneous treasure in the Scimitar Mountains, but it feels like it's I wouldn't leave that as your get out of jail free card, so to speak.
It would also depend on where in the Scimitar Mountains it is. If it's to the south corner, yes, maybe a week or two away. If it's any further than that, then yes, we would run out of time.
The mountain range itself is over 1,000 miles long. I mean,
yes,
exactly.
I've at a glance seen the map in Peridon's house, but beyond that,
well, I'm assuming the family would have had some research into said map, and that I'm sure that the research would be at Peridon's house, presumably. I'm assuming, so that would maybe narrow it down a little bit. But once again, it's a long shot. You could, unless you could delay or reach out to this Altons in Harrow as some sort of tertiary measure or so forth. But I don't know anyone in Harrow. I've never been.
Another option would be to go back to the caves and see if the fairy dust is still there. Quick fix.
Would Tolbin necessarily have left?
Well, we chased him off, though. He didn't get to take anything with him.
Left unattended,
Yeah,
he may have returned.
They did. They specifically took certain things with them.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Damn it.
Yeah.
And they
But
went
Larry
to...
may have killed... Did Larry eat anyone?
Larry's absolutely wasted because he actually ate all the drugs. Larry's up in some hills and we just like...
Oh, I think there was something in that.
It wasn't fairy dust, and it was catnip.
Larry in the sky. Peridon says, my family's never really done any kind of significant research into the map because the Scimitar Mountains. I mean, that's all the way over in Kingsvale, and I mean, crossing the borders is always, well, not necessarily the safest thing if you're from Alamar, but I mean, it's like I said, we're not an adventuring family. It was more of a keepsake than anything else. The only person who ever would have gone looking would have been my grandfather, and I mean, and he never did. It was always too dangerous for them. I mean, but maybe, I don't know. I mean, take the map. If you think you can use it and find whatever it's on the other end, these gem mines, then, I mean, maybe there's still gems in them, and maybe you can bring back money, and you can help me and the village, of course. And
Wex,
Guys?
to be clear, if we were to find certain amazing amount of treasure, money would be given to you and village to pay bank to buy lands. Peridon should not see this.
you can. Peridin looks a little bit. You can see that there is a little bit of conflict going on there, but he's like, no, I mean, yes, I mean that makes yes, and that's okay. That's fine. I'm happy for that to happen. I want to be a better person, but but that's also a long way away, and you've got to find them, and the mountains are big, but I mean, in the meantime, how do we stop purse strings from turning up here and you know?
Well, we take you to purse string.
Why? If I go there, he's going to ask. I can't give him the money. I don't have. If you take me to him, then he'll.
Is there any way you could get a message to him and ask for a little more time, and maybe send along a gesture, something small to suggest that you will pay it off? You just need a little more time.
I mean, I suppose I could write a note and send it that way, or.
Do you have anything that would help in the way of, like, you know, just a little bit of something?
I mean, there's the only real things I've got left of value would be the map, and I mean, I've got a tiny bit of money at home, but I mean, I'm broke basically.
How much for this fancy sword in place that sell and buy fancy swords, you think, Grumpfel?
I'm no blacksmith, so I couldn't put a price on a sword. Hamish, it looks elaborate enough. It's not sort of mastercraft, but it looks elaborate enough to be worth a couple of coins. Yes.
Make a dice roll of some description. Make an investigation check for me.
Oh, I have a little bit of knowledge about blacksmithing. May I assist with examining the quality of the weapon?
Absolutely.
So I'm rolling that 20 and it's worth 750 gold pieces.
Yeah. Woo! Problem solved!
Incredible!
I rolled a total of 10 on investigation. Does Tiernan helping Grumpfel add anything to it, or how do we do this?
Tiernan can either roll as well, or you can roll with advantage, Grumpfel. It's up to you guys.
I might roll. I would roll as well.
Yeah, go for it.
I shouldn't have rolled as well. That one.
Oh my god, how many natural ones is this, guys?
Oh.
You suck. Grumpfel, what did you
In my defense, I did roll a 6.
Grumpfel, what did you get?
10 in total.
10. Look, you because of your background and because this isn't super complicated at all, you know that a normal longsword's worth about 15 gold pieces.
Yep.
You reckon you could maybe get 25 for it?
Okay.
Yes,
this sword
is gold pieces. No, I'm kidding.
This sword is somewhat well crafted. I couldn't say to its use in battle, but certainly the appearance of it would be worth a few coins. However, I don't think anyone in town would have money to cover any sort of sale holding in good faith for money. I'm not sure if anyone would have money in town to cover what this sword would be worth.
People in Harrow would. We go to Harrow, we sell sword with a little bit of money.
Or maybe we could send the sword with a note.
Okay.
Peridin, is this just a sword, or is this any sort of note, or?
Oh, I mean, it's my father's sword, and I mean, my grandfather used it as well. But I mean, it's just a sword. I don't.
So it's a family heirloom.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's a family. Yes,
perhaps.
Yes, it is a family. Yes.
Still falling short of 750 gold, guys.
Yes. Perhaps we could find someone to hold this in faith, in which we could return the debt against it to then secure the sword once again for Peridin, but rather than sell it. Just thinking out loud.
I think if we are going to go and try and find treasure to help Greenfield town. We take Peridin, not sword. We go to Harrow. We say to this first cut man, here is Peridin. Please don't kill him. We be back. We pay his debt. You leave everyone alone.
So just to clarify some geographical stuff there for you, Promethean, to maybe potentially help. So Harrow east, Deep Cove west. Deep Cove is probably a week and a half, maybe 2 to the west. Harrow is to the east.
Yeah.
And where's Purse Strings? Harrow?
Purse Strings is in
Harrow.
Deep Cove.
Other way around.
Yeah, sorry.
I'd say
Don't be
Harrow,
going
I
the
mean
opposite
Deep Cove.
direction.
I get confused above ground of direction. I mean, Purse String in Deep Cove. We go there.
Should we
to
have a look at Peridin's map first to see if we can figure out where? Because I dare say this purse strings will give us a time limit, even an extension on the existing. But they will ask when will they get their money. We need to be able to give them a figure rather than sometime.
I don't know. I've never dealt with people of this nature.
Wex pipes up and says, I'm not very comfortable with this idea of sending young Peridin off to Deep Cove. Fear that it's possibly a situation that he won't return from, especially if this debt must be repaid by the end of the following month.
Well, you mentioned the family of Altons in Harrow.
Correct.
Why would you suggest them? Are they approachable in good faith to maybe assist the village, or are they more of a potential buyers of the land?
I would suggest we've had some positive dealings with the Altons in the past, various trades that we've had. Lady Daria Alton seems to be one of the more upstanding nobles from Harrow. To be honest, Harrow or even Deep Cove. I have very little faith in the people of Deep Cove, to be very honest with you. But if someone was to buy the Nifglade lands, whether it's the house and all the farmlands, and then potentially have people come here to run them, I would be more inclined to want the Altons involved as opposed to, for example, the Malagarths or someone like that.
Well, the way I see it, there's 2 points. The bank owns the land. Will own the land due to the loans. So it would be whether or not another noble family purchases the land to pay the bank. The question I have is, will Purse Strings collect or want to collect anything beyond, and I don't mean to sound macabre here, more than Peridin's life?
I would have no idea. I've never had any sorts of dealings with these people before. As I said, I try to sort of avoid places like Deep Cove because it's a distasteful place. The people there are inclined for violence and debauchery. Harrow isn't much better than that, but what Purse Strings wants, I don't know. If we give him the money, that might be sufficient. If we don't pay, he might want interest, but ultimately, if there's nothing extra for him to be given...
But see, something I don't understand is, how do we pay them? There's no money.
We don't pay Purse String. There's no need for us to pay Purse String. Purse String has a relationship with Peridin. We give Peridin to Purse String. Easy. We pay bank if we find treasure. Purse String, we give Peridin to Purse String. Problem solved.
Is Peridin worth 750 gold pieces?
Well, who owns the land? If we find the gold and pay the bank, who owns the land? Parents wouldn't be around anymore. There's no family line.
Bank and have to
We
sell it.
Wex, I mentioned this before. I think best thing to have town on land. Town would purchase from bank.
Wex?
I mean, the town certainly doesn't have the money to purchase it from the bank.
If we were to find enough for you to.
If you were to
purchase from
find
bank.
enough, then I suppose so.
Because the month delivery is just for Peridot, not the bank. Unless I heard wrong.
No, and Peridot, who is looking like almost sick with this conversation, sort of gives a forlorn sort of nod.
Because I don't see any other option, personally. Unless anyone else has any ideas.
I think maybe we should take a walk up to Peridot's house and get the map.
Have a closer look, I guess.
Have a closer look. Get whatever else may be of value and put that in Wex's care. Potentially.
Should we perhaps have Wex accompany us up to Peridot's manor?
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea,
we should
Grumpfel.
take Peridot as well. Maybe. Because he's going to know where things are in the house.
I think it's safer if we are going to maybe give Peridot to Purseman. Peridot maybe stay locked up.
Yeah, I don't think Peridot's going to help us.
Peridot says, I mean, I can tell you where everything of value is in the house. I mean, there's only the two things. There's only the map, and then there's the chest in my bedroom under some floorboards, and that's it. Like, there is nothing. I've sold everything else. I've done everything I can to try and cover any debts or anything like that. But I don't.
He's of no value. He lock back up in and we go look at the map.
He turns to Wex and this goes, Wex, you can't let them just give me the purse strings. I by the time I go there and by the time people find it, there's no way I can get the money. They'll kill me. You are sentencing me to death, Wex. And you can see that Wex looks also very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, given Grumpfel is a cleric of the life circle, he is uncomfortable with that too.
And Wex says, look, Peridot, while I do feel some of what these people are saying in regards to the responsibility that lies with you, I also am not a fan of just sending you off to your death, but I honestly don't know what else we can do. I mean, purse strings will come here and he'll want the money, and unless you have the money, there is not the village can't protect you, and you're well aware of that.
The only thing I can see, Wex, is if the township borrows money against Peridot from potentially this Alton family. That's the only option I can really see if the township wants to take that risk. Because there's no guarantee that we're going to find this mine. We'll do our best, but...
Yeah, see, Wex just strokes his chin and he's just like, this is... I honestly don't know.
Let's go and have a look at this map and see if we can narrow down the parameters a little bit.
Or at the very least, not talk anymore about the minutiae of financial responsibility. It's not the most interesting topic. Delgrim is getting tired.
So with that, we're going to head off. You guys are going to head off up to the house to look at the map and stuff. And we will break for 10 minutes there whilst we pause with economics and inflation. The new table.
How did we get here?
Well, Moral complications. Half the party just wants to hand him over.
He made his bed.
It's not complicated.
No, it's not.
But I do find it quite intriguing and quite enjoyable watching. What the different approaches from the group.
I just want a treasure map.
Oh,
So
look.
let's break.
Yeah,
Let's,
and I know that Miera just wants the treasure
Yeah,
map.
yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
That's a good way to go. That does that. Awesome. Are we going to
Okay.
find it? Oh my
So-
god, no idea.
So let's break for 10 minutes, and then we'll return, and you guys can go and sort out the map and stuff, and then we need to work out what you guys are going to do. So thank you for those of you hanging around in the chat.
I feel bad about even talking about making a decision without Rowan here. It's awful.
It's no, I think it's
you feel that way now.
I think it's
I think we're on a positive. We haven't beaten up anyone.
No, there's you haven't beaten up Wex, even though
We
he's
still got to get back to the house yet.
Okay,
That's right.
let's
As soon as I see
talky,
head
more
up.
breaky breaky.
What?
Exclamation mark giveaway. Don't forget the cool stuff to win. So, you all make your...
And if you don't win, don't forget to check out Meeples and Dragons. Buy all the things, crash the website.
.com.au, boom, boom, go, go.
There's
So
also
you guys-
discount code.
You guys make your way up towards the Nifglade estate with Wex, leaving Peridon locked back in his room, destitute, distraught at the conversation. As you're making your way up there, Wex...
Do we engage in small talk? Because I'd like to wax lyrical.
Yeah. Oh, sweet Lord.
Sorry, continue.
10 points. Yep, well done.
Is that a bingo card?
It's a dead Swift Neblin. No, so Wex goes.
Good thing I'm a moon elf. Anyway,
I didn't want to raise this with Peridin around, as the young man is already distraught enough as it is. But I mean, one other option, and whilst this does somewhat pain me to suggest this, would be to actually take Peridin to Harrow. Now, there are jails there, and we do have a number of dealings with some of the nobility there. If you take him to Harrow, he could he would be incarcerated for his crimes. This does not, of course, directly deal with the issue with purse strings, but if purse strings was then to turn up here in the end of the following month, it might provide us some time to maybe find some way to deal with that situation if people are inclined, or at least provides me with some time to think about a way that maybe myself and the rest of the village can deal with this as I still feel a moral obligation to make sure that Peridin is not actually killed despite his transgressions.
This seemed like clever idea. Peridin is not butchered for the sake of hearts of people who are soft-hearted.
You clearly care deeply about for the family, Wex, that's for sure.
Look, the Nifglades have ruled. Well, ruled is probably the wrong term. The Nifglades have been part of Greenfield for a number of generations now, and I still, there is a part of my heart that feels for the poor young Peridin. He's made some terrible, terrible choices, and still will end up paying for them, and being incarcerated in Harrow will be far worse than anything that happens here.
Purse string come for him, you have to deal with Harrow.
If purse strings comes for him there, then yes, it becomes a more complicated situation, but I would still like to try and find a way to resolve that.
It adds time.
It does provide some time. I would still suggest that there's the issue with the banks as well, but I mean, I would encourage the discussions with at least the Altons to see whether or not they may be willing to take credit of the bank's debts and therefore gain possession of the lands.
We'll draft up a letter, Wex, and we will. I guess we can deliver it on our way to Harrow.
Some kind of open license, maybe.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But no, we can. I'm sure we could organize something, and get that sorted out. But I mean, I must admit, this is asking a lot from you. I mean, I have no understanding of what it is that you were all planning to do next, or.
I'm intrigued by this treasure map and gem, in the Scimitar Mountains, though.
I have promised to help Miera find Miera's friend after we recovered Firework. The plans between now and then, I leave to Miera.
Well, this is the one that was with was with Athalas. Is that correct? Or was we at least are assuming anyway?
Yeah. And she kind of headed in that direction, like east.
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about this before, but I mean, yes, I mean, Athalas has been known to travel to Harrow in the past, and maybe they've just taken an extended stay there for some reason. I would actually suggest that if you do end up there and you go looking for this friend, maybe go to the Valeway Inn. It's probably the cleanest establishment there in regards to accommodation, and I've heard Athalas mention that in the past. Maybe that if they're not staying there, maybe someone has heard about them or something similar. Although I do need to warn you that Harrow is significantly larger than Greenfield. We're not looking at the sort of capitals such as Deep Cove, but it is significantly larger and does have its own share of unsavory people. So,
Do they have a library?
a library? To be honest, I don't know. Not that I'm aware of, but I mean, I've only been there a handful of times over the years. And certainly ask around. There might be. Why? Is there any particular reason you're inquiring about libraries?
Well, I couldn't find the information that I was previously looking for. And if we do in fact take this map, a library, I'm assuming, would be would assist us in narrowing down where we would be headed.
Well, I can certainly advise that the good folk of Harrow and from what I can tell from most here and Alamar, knowledge like that is not valued as highly as some other places. I would almost suggest if you're looking for libraries to go to Amberdale. That is probably a place in which you'd find far greater knowledge. Again, I've never been there myself. I've only heard of establishments there, but anyway, it looks like we're almost at the Nifglade house now. So,
does Tiernan know where Amberdale is? Sorry.
Yes, Tiernan would know where Amberdale is. Miera definitively knows where Amberdale is because it is just across the Rainbow Lake from where she comes from. Amberdale is the capital of Redwald, which is the duchy to the south of Alamar.
Tiernan sighs because he realizes it's in the opposite direction to where they're going to head.
Welcome
Welcome
to a nice, great big world where there's just decisions times. This is what happens.
He sighs regretfully.
You step out of the small village into it's like when you're playing those open world games where it's just like, all right, okay, you know how the mechanics work. Here's everything. Woo!
Where's the quick travel option? Right,
yeah,
let's go.
damn it.
Good, you're awake.
Before we go into a house, Wex, Peridin mentioned his grandfather had maybe searched for some of this map. But tell me, do you know where Peridin's grandfather is buried?
Where he's buried?
Yes. Is he buried in the area on this land in town?
Well, there's a small village cemetery on the outskirts of town. He would have been buried there.
Thank you. No reason.
Just that entire conversation, Tiernan's just staring at you, Delgrim.
Yeah. Delgrim pulls a shovel out of his pack.
Yeah, Grumpfel's also like, where's this heading?
Yeah. So you guys get to the Nifglade estate to find it deserted. The front door is even slightly ajar.
Tempted to take Delgrim in through the window, but no, we'll just head in straight in the front door.
Yeah, a different. So you guys head inside.
I'm making a beeline for where I saw that map.
Okay. Yeah. Too easy. You head into the big main living area. Everything looks very much the way you left it last time. And the map is on the wall above the fireplace, still framed, up on display.
I'm gonna, because I'm assuming it's too high for me to reach.
Yes.
So I'm gonna use my mage hand.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull it off the wall.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop it on the floor.
Okay.
I'm going to do a quick investigation of the room that it's in to see if there were any sort of files or any sort of research done by past family members.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Grumpfel, what are you doing?
Did we see if Netta was still here? Like, has she heard us coming and she's crawled up into a fetal position, rocking back and forth or something?
You can do a search of the building if you'd like.
She's hiding in the closet.
You're breathing into a brown paper bag.
15 check.
15.
Let's see. Did you say investigation or?
Investigation. Yeah. So just while Grumpfel's doing that, Tiernan, no, you don't find anything which seems to indicate any kind of extra
Fair enough.
or anything like that.
Oh, very nice. 20 plus 1 makes 21.
Nice, excellent. Oh,
I know and see
there
everything.
is no sign of anybody in the house.
Okay. Does it look like just no one's home, or does it look like there is no one now living here?
The house looks very similar to the last time you were here.
Okay, so it's just no one's home. Well, we know Peridon's not at home, but no one's home.
No one appears to be home. Yep.
Okay.
So Miera, there is a Wex sort of goes with you, and as you sort of you lift it off the wall, he's just sort of standing there watching, and then as you just let it drop, and there's this like god awful smash. He's like, "Oh, what was?
Oops. Sorry.
You all right, dear? Is that?
It happens sometimes. Sorry.
Oh, very well. Okay. Gosh, I haven't seen anybody do that before. It's quite impressive."
Meanwhile, immediately following that is an almighty crash from Peridon's room. I'm so sorry, John.
Not again!
The spot where the chest is hidden. Delgrim will be in there.
Okay.
Digging back down into that chest.
Yeah.
Tennant's like, why do I even bother?
And you see Wex, like, Mary, you hear the other crash, and Wex like, what was that noise?
I just tripped over a mat or something.
Nothing to worry about. It's just the Northern Lights.
So Delgrim, yeah, you're able to get those the few coins that are in that chest with no drama. 1 platinum, 1 gold, and 2 silver.
Brilliant. Which Delgrim will then take back through to Wex, and hand over to Wex and say, "Heta, we frightened old lady when we were investigating Herodin House. She's about to lose. She's about to lose her employer. I feel like this should be compensation for Heta."
Oh, it was very generous of you. I mean, I can I'll make sure the money goes to her. I'm sure Glacian will be looking after her as well. I mean, we basically raised him too, so she'll be in good hands with him.
Please pass on our sincere apologies for the misunderstanding.
I'm not entirely sure that I follow.
That's all right.
Let's have a look at this map.
Yes, I mean, I'll yes, certainly I'll pass it on. Yes, excellent. Okay, so the map. So you hold the map up. It is not detailed, particularly. It has no names of anything on it. The primary details are down the right-hand side is a long mountain range. Towards the bottom of the map, there is a small fork in the mountains to sort of form like a sort of a little wee sort of junction like that. The little branch of mountains that goes off to the left of it is very, very small, almost sort of like a little sort of almost sort of inlet type shape. In the center of the map, coming down towards the middle, is a large river. And in that fork, you can see there is an X. I even have a copy of it somewhere.
Ooh.
Except it is on... I will send it through to you guys. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Paul Saz is like, no one told me.
No, she's fine. It's all good. I'm not going to suddenly go, and we need a display up here.
It's okay. So it's giving a thumbs up. So if you've got the graphic there, Hamish.
Yeah, it's cool.
No, you don't have it ready.
No. Saz, that's not your thumb.
Oh.
Yeah, she was going like this for some reason. I'm not sure what.
And the youth in gang symbols.
She'll share on socials later.
Is there anything on the back of the map? Like anything else?
Yeah, you flip it over and no, there's nothing on there.
Grumpfel's back by now, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Does Grumpfel recognize what I think this area of the map is?
Make a history roll.
Den's already inspected it in his previous visit, so.
Could I ask Wex, just is there any other maps in the town that we could possibly compare this one to see if we can kind of match it up?
For crying out loud. 4.
It's over 2.5 weeks away. Miera, would Greenfields necessarily have the maps of those mountains? Right?
Wex goes, not here, sorry. I mean, we're a small farming community. We don't really have maps. I mean, might be a few people with maps of the local area, but beyond that, you're wanting a map of a larger region, you need to probably see if you can acquire one from Harrow or something. Yeah, Grumpfel with that. Yeah, no, who knows.
I think I know from looking at the map earlier where you're talking about, but if Grumpfel's, there's a 4, then he can't recall.
Okay. Well,
so with the map in hand and the tiny number of coins that you have salvaged from in the house, where are you guys going to go to next?
I guess we allow Wex to create an introduction letter for the Altons, as well as a letter for the constables or the law enforcement. I have no idea what's happened in who polices Harrow.
Harrow cops.
Mr. Wex will tell you. Yeah.
And do we take Wex's option on taking Peridon over to Harrow? I think it's a good idea. Definitely gives us more time.
Seemed good idea, and in same direction as Scimitar Mountain.
And maybe start the process with the Alton family in case we don't find the mines.
And if we can't find a map that looks same as treasure map, surely there will be some town nearby who has knowledge of old gem mines. Perhaps I can find some of my people. They may know of mines in the area.
Do we bother speaking to the Altons? I don't know.
Might be a good idea to have it as a backup, I guess. Just in
So I
case.
can buy the land. Well, okay, Wex. If you would like to write us an letter to the Altons, we can deliver it as well.
He's like, yeah. I mean, what do you need the letter to say?
Well, weren't you interested in them purchasing the land?
Oh, right. Yes, from the banking syndicate. Yes. All right. Okay. I'll see what I can put together in regards.
They're based in Harrow, aren't they?
Yes. He tells you also that in regards to law enforcement in Harrow, he lets you know that basically the Malagarth family is in charge of Harrow, and it is their mercenary company, the Earthbreaker Brigade, which actually essentially acts as law enforcement in that town.
Wasn't that the family you were concerned about purchasing the land?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
They're yes, not the most savoury of individuals, shall we say. Their tastes run to a number of distasteful elements for myself anyway.
Okay.
I take it you won't be joining us then, Wex.
I mean, unless you need me to come with you, I don't think I can add any extra value. You can make sure that you have Paradin secured, and
We can always tie him in the cart, so that shouldn't be too hard. We have a cart.
this is true. This is true.
Thought the Peridin Titan card make me very happy.
How much time would you require to write said letters, Way?
Oh, it'll only take me a matter of an hour or so to pen a couple of quick letters. That's not a problem.
Okay. Well, unless anyone else needs anything, I guess we get ready for our.
Because by the time you've done all of this, it's probably mid-morning. It hasn't taken that long. It's just been a bunch of conversation. So, yeah. So you guys head back to the inn while Wex quickly returns back to his the small temple to pen these letters as required.
And Delgrim's going to go to Nessa real quick and just ask, Nessa, we don't know where our friend Rowan is. We don't know when they will return. What would it take for you to keep Rowan's room free in case Rowan return, and pass on a message that we have, or that we will be going to Harrow?
Oh, I mean, I'm more than happy to just keep the room free and take a note for you. I mean, again, you've done an awful lot for our small towns, our small village. So that's, I mean, I can hold it for maybe a couple of weeks. We don't get many people through here, so I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. And I mean, I can keep her gear for longer than that. But the room, I can keep the room free for a few weeks at least. If you think that'll help at all.
This would be very kind. I would appreciate that. And Delgrim will hand over just a single gold coin in appreciation.
Oh, sorry, you don't need to, but thank you. That's very, very nice of you. She goes, Dwight, can you go up and get all of our young Rowan's gear from her room and just maybe store it out the back? And he's like, yeah, okay. Yep. So with that sorted, Rowan's gear stashed away, Wex returns sort of about an hour later with two rolled up pieces of parchment. And he just pulls out as he sort of shows you the both. This one's for the Altons and this one's for the Malagasy in regards to Paradin's situation. Opens up a small scroll case and just slides them both inside and hands it over to you. Well, I think this is. Are you planning on heading off today, or?
I see no reason to.
Yeah.
Dilly-dally.
Very well. Well, I mean, you've done our small town a great service, and we're eternally grateful for that. You'll always be welcome back here in Greenfield anytime you wish to come back through, and I hope that this whole situation with Paradin can be resolved in some fashion. But if you ever need anything from me, you know where I am. And again, all I can say is thank you on behalf of our small town. You've helped us out a lot.
Before Wex goes, if he's going, can I pull him aside and just have a quiet chat with him, just out of earshot?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to pass him a scroll as well.
Okay.
I want to give him the scroll and ask him to include this in the next shipment on the full moon.
Alex goes, You want me to give this to the creature out there?
Yes, please. If you could, just leave it with the.
I know what you're saying, Miera. Yes, well, I will make sure this gets delivered.
Thank you.
Must admit, I'm a little bit curious.
Clearly a love letter to Larry.
Maybe.
And why wouldn't you give Larry a love letter?
Oh, Larry, how they love thy ways. Let me count the ways.
I'll send you.
Please follow me, Larry. Follow me everywhere I go.
I long for your paws on my back. Okay, let's just get creepy. Okay, yeah, he's like, yep, no, that's absolutely fine. You take care out there. Make sure that you stay safe, and just warn you again, Harrow has some unsavory characters there. Make sure you just be safe. Don't go out at night. The streets can be a bit dangerous there. Stay well clear of the rat's nest. Absolutely.
Thank you, Wex, for all of your tips.
And I take it we've got Peridon kind of bound, ready to throw into the cart at this point, or have we not done that yet?
So yeah, so now would be the time to go up and hog tie Peridon, I guess.
Would have been so much fun if you had heard that. That's fine. Yeah, Delgrim will head up to the room.
Okay.
Miera, can I have key to Peridon room? I bring him down to cart.
I think I gave it back to Nessa, so I don't know who has it now.
So Nessa's still got the key.
I'll find Nessa.
Okay, right. So you get the key and head up to the room. Is anyone else going up with Delgrim, or is this a solo?
Grumpfel will come up.
I recall Miera said something about some handcuffs or something?
Oh yeah, I do have manacles.
Manacles. But now I'm not joining.
Yeah. Okay. So Delgrim, Miera, and Grumpfel are going up. Okay.
Grumpfel always gets dragged into these things.
Yeah, he's just like motherfucker.
Poor dude.
Okay, so you guys go up and unlock the door, open it, and
I'll go get the cart ready.
Yep, Peridon's still on the bed, and he goes, have you decided what you're going to do?
Well, we have, and Delgrim will just ask Miera for the medicals.
We're going on an adventure.
What do you mean? Are you? God, you're not taking me to Deep Cove.
No, we're not.
You
not
don't
taking you to
need to
Deep
know
Cove.
the detail of what the plan is for you. You sit in cart, you be quiet, you not make trouble, maybe you survive.
He glances over at you, Miera and Grumpfel. What do you mean? Where are you taking me?
Grumpfel looks at his feet again.
So I think, well, you were in the room when we spoke to Wex, Peridon. So one of the choices was we go to Deep Cove or we go to Harrow. So we're taking a little trip to Harrow.
Why are you taking me with you?
Because we may need to speak to some of the noble families, and you're a nobleman, so we figure you might be able to make introductions and help us out.
Also, if we can't find food out there, you'll have 4 perfectly good limbs that we could use.
It's back on the menu, boys.
Miera, make a deception check with advantage.
Is the advantage because he trusts me?
You were quite convincing, and then maybe the threat was probably an element in there as well.
That cackle.
Okay, so 11. Deception is
A deception, yeah.
Hang on. 11 plus 2, 13.
Did you make it with advantage?
Oh, no. Sorry. Hang on. 11.
Natural 20.
16.
Okay,
So 16 plus 2, 18.
all right. He gives Delgrim a sort of a bit of a shocked look when he talks about his stuff, but then looks back at you, Miera, and goes, "Well, yeah, okay. Look, I'll absolutely, I'll help as much as I can."
Awesome. Thank you. Now, we're going to put some manacles on you. This is not, it's not my decision, but there are some people in the party that feel it would be better if we had at least some assurances that you won't be able to get away.
It is me. I am the person in party who want to put manacle on you.
I mean, I'm not going to try and get away. I don't even know where I'll go. I mean, I can't just...
I know, but let's just keep him happy, because if he's happy, then he's not stabby, right?
It is manacle, or I knock you unconscious every hour or so.
He holds his hands out. He holds his hands out.
Who's got the Have I got the manacles? I guess I'm putting manacles on him then.
Okay. So, with Peridin manacled up, you guys head back downstairs to where Tiernan has the cart all set up, ready to go.
Just got this mental image of Delgrim going, Peregrine, are you awake? Whack!
Not anymore.
No, I'm just getting this image of she goes, clink, now that they're on.
Yeah. God. Just... All right, so with everything sorted out, the cart loaded up, the sun shining high in the sky above you, you guys make your way out the small town of Greenfield, down the road east, which you've now travelled down a few times as you've sort of gone backwards and forwards after chasing bandits and the like. The trip to Harrow is probably about 5 days. Is there anything in particular that people are wanting to do over that period of time? Or conversation?
Delgrim absolutely wants to dig up Peridin's grandfather out of the grave.
Was that
I
on
really
the way?
want to do that.
You should have taken the opportunity when we were sorting out the carton, mate.
Yeah, totally.
Is it on the way out of town? Wex did say it was on the outskirts of town.
Peridin, you may not be coming back to this place. Perhaps you would like to pay your last respects to your family at the cemetery.
So at this stage, he looks at you and goes, "Hold on, what do you mean I might not be coming back? It's not what Miera said. She said that I was
It is
going
a long and dangerous road, my friend. We cannot guarantee your safety. You died.
We all take that
Anything could
risk,
happen.
don't we? Really?
We do.
Delgrim, do you mean if just something untoward were to happen to anyone, that it's always good to pay respects to ancestors, no matter who you are?
No, Grumpfel, I mean he could die, and this may be the last chance he get.
God, what? I didn't think that the trip to Harrow was that.
Well, you yourself hired a bunch of mercenaries, and someone died on this road. So, I mean, there is a chance. We're not saying it's going to happen, but it's always good to say goodbye, just in case.
It's going to turn at this point and just look at Peridin. We're taking you away from the town to extend your life.
Oh, no, I mean, no, I don't have... No, I mean, I probably would have liked to have said goodbye to, like, Heta and Glashan, but...
Maybe Heather and Glashan are at cemetery, and you get your chance to do that.
Why would they be at... Why would they be at the cemetery? I don't understand.
They grow up here. They know people who die. Maybe they pay their respect like normal person.
Well, I mean, we go past the cemetery on the way out of town, but
Perfect. I can always check.
okay. This is very, very confused, Verbold.
Then let us go out of town past cemetery.
Tiernan's gonna tap Delgrim on the shoulder and lean in. You're not gonna dig up his grandfather, are you? And, whisper this.
I am absolutely going to dig up grandfather. If grandfather only one who found clue to treasure, then maybe something buried with grandfather about clue to treasure.
People do that?
He dead. He not care.
No, I mean, people actually store stuff in their graves.
Yes, I find this.
We're whispering, by the way.
tenuous. Yeah. Does Grumpfel overhear this or no?
Make a perception check to see whether or not you can hear that.
Let's see if I can roll a 1 or a 20.
I'm trying to hide under this hat.
Perception.
The conspiratorial
Here we
side
go.
of the hat.
Get ready. Here we go. Perception.
Yeah.
No, that was a letdown. 7 plus 4 is 11.
Yeah, probably not.
No, that's
Probably
fine. That's
not.
no problem.
No.
So people
there
actually
are-
store
there are-
valuables in their graves?
There are entire civilizations built around gigantic mausoleums to store only valuable goods. It is quite likely treasure map lead to just one giant grave.
Does Tiernan here know about these historical civilizations from his studies?
Make
He's
a history
referring
check. Make a history check.
13.
13. I mean, you would have heard of situations of where there's nobility that has been, buried in big mausoleums and the like. And
Centuries ago.
not centuries ago, not necessarily. Like it's still something that some cultures would practice. Probably more in like sort of not so much, in little villages and stuff like that. And sometimes family heirlooms would be buried with people and the like, but
Delgrim,
yeah,
do they
it's more of a-
necessarily practice it at this village? It seems like an older tradition.
Yeah, but no old saying of taking secrets to grave. Assume it literal. If grandfather the only one who finds secret about treasure, maybe he take it to grave.
I don't know about this much. The Delgrim.
You keep when we get to cemetery, you don't have to be part. You keep everyone distracted. I will check grave. Your hands clean. You're untarnished.
Tiernan takes a very, very visible sigh.
I promise you, I live my whole life underground. Entire world, just one big graveyard.
Okay, I don't want to hear anymore.
So, as originally stated, the graveyard is just on the outskirts of town. It's very small and very, very simplistic. It's sort of off the road, probably like a sort of 150 feet. So it's a bit of a sort of a walk down a little track, this little graveyard, through the long grass and stuff like that. And it's you can find is just Delgrim who's just going, or
I'm gonna go.
okay, right.
Tiernan's staying with the cart.
Well, Delgrim was going to try and just break off real sneakily, like, and just...
Grumpfel will leave the
This
cart, but not go up.
new
He might
axe
sort of
is
wander just sort of halfway between, just looking
Okay.
shrubs, bushes, anything medicinal, berries,
Okay.
whatever he can find. Just
Okay.
So Tiernan's going to slow the cart down to a crawl?
Yeah.
While you guys are doing this? Is that the plan?
You can keep going. I catch up soon.
Okay.
I need to readjust my pack. This new axe, it is not sit right. I need to
Somehow
find
Tiernan
the
has
best way
found
to get
himself in charge of the cart.
Okay.
Not the best animal handling, FYI.
Okay. So you guys jump off. So Delgrim, Miera, and Grumpfel all jump off the cart, whilst Tiernan slows it down a bit, but still sort of keeps trundling along. Paradin seems very.
Sorry, before we jump off, can I just cast sleep on Paradin so he doesn't actually see us jump off the cart?
I mean, you can. Yep. And remember, it only goes for like a minute.
But it's enough time for us to get clear of the cart so he doesn't see us do it.
If you want to.
Might as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cast sleep on Paradin. And like you can see he's sort of sitting there, bouncing along, and the next minute he's just like falls asleep. As the bunch of you all leap off and race down towards where this small graveyard is. You get there, and like Paradin wakes up and sort of looks at you, Tiernan, and goes, I've drifted off. It's strange. Where did everybody go?
Scouting.
What?
Scouting. Haven't you ever been on long trips before?
Oh.
I thought you said scatting for a second.
I thought you said scatting.
Didn't we all go before we left?
So he's like, okay, that's strange.
Rogue jazz group.
So you guys head down to where the graveyard is, and like I said, it's very, very simplistic. There are half a dozen graves which are probably nicer than the rest, and when you look at them, all appear to belong to the Nifglade families.
Is there any symbols or anything like that on the headstones?
I forgot to ask for the grandfather's name.
Don't need it. So Delga's gonna look at the wear on each kind of tombstone with each grave and hope that he can establish a kind of timeline in terms of age.
Okay, so firstly, Miera, in regards to symbols, there's nothing overtly obvious. They're all very simple. The ones for the Nifglades are, like I said, better sort of gravestones and that sort of stuff. But apart from that, yeah.
I'm just pulling out the map and looking at the gravestones as well, just to see if there's anything.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Delgrim, make a wear and tear. This is probably more of an investigation check. Unless you can convince me otherwise.
Oh, probably just
like if you think there's another skill that's more appropriate and you can sort of explain why that would be.
Beyond just perception, I guess, and kind of, having been surrounded by stone.
Yeah.
His entire life, he's going to know how stone behaves in certain circumstances and elements. And so it'll give him a range. All it's going to do is narrow down the half. Yeah. Is all I'm expecting out of that.
No, that's cool. So that'll impact on the DC. So make an investigation check, because investigation's actually like getting in there and looking around and examining and stuff like that, rather than just looking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Would I be able to offer any support to Delgrim? I just want to, I guess, looking to see if maybe there's like dates like we have on gravestones now. And maybe seeing if I can pick like the oldest one based on the dates, if there are any. So can I give Delgrim advantage?
Yeah, look, there's dates on them. And you can see that there's about 4 generations.
All right. So is that advantage, or are we just taking?
No, I mean, I think based on
those 4,
based on that, you would be pretty easy to be able to ascertain that the grave you're looking at is for the grave of a Fellherd Nifglade.
Okay. And so we're thinking that's the grandfather's grave.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Delgrim will pull out his war pick and start digging.
Okay. This will take some time, like digging.
20 minutes tops. Would you like to help?
I have no fucking idea how long it would take to dig up.
Don't ask me how I know that. No, that's unimportant.
Longer than a trundling wagon, I think.
Yeah, look, it's going to take you probably a good half an hour between the two of you. But yeah, look, you get in there with the war pick. I don't know what Miera's using.
Can
From
I
experience, it
use
takes a
Mage
fair
Hand?
while to dig.
Mage Hand would do hardly anything at all.
But it's just good. It could just kind of help a little bit.
A little bit, sure. What did you say? What did you say, John?
From experience, it takes a fair time to dig.
Yeah, it's not quick at all. I'm too terrified to Google it. But look, let's just keep things rolling. Yes, you finally invest a chunk of time and finally you get to hit wood and find the casket, and you open it up, and inside is the worn remains of a long dead Firbolg, obviously dressed in fairly decent finery, which is rotted away for the most part.
Brilliant. Delgrim is going to have a look around the corpse and just see if there's anything that looks even remotely symbolic or geographical, or that might be connected in some way to the treasure map.
Okay. Miera, what are you doing?
Chonky dice.
I want to also have a look in there and see if I can see anything like shiny-ish. Yeah.
Sweetest halfling, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, make a so you can either each roll an investigation check or Delgrim roll with advantage. Up to you.
What's your investigation like, Delgrim?
Greatest in the world.
I got a +3 to mine.
Ooh.
Roll separate, maybe.
I think roll separate for sure. But I'm going the chonky dice, if that's any consolation.
Go chonky!
It is chonk time. 17.
I got a 19.
Plus nothing.
19.
+3.
Oh no, sorry. +1.
Okay, all right.
18.
What you find in there, as you sort of, I don't know how careful you guys are trying to be, or whether or not you just smashing through things, but the two things that you find on the left hand, there is a very plain gold ring, just a gold band. On the right hand, on the little finger, there is another ring, which appears to be made of silver, but has a largish emerald set in the top. It's quite nice. It's
Not
quite
worth
a nice
750 gold, though, is it?
Every little bit helps. Well,
I'm not sure there's anything here, Miera, that help us identify treasure map location. Maybe if this emerald came from location, this may help narrow down.
can I have a look?
Can
I have a look at the
Yes.
ring and just see if there's anything like inscribed on the inside of it?
Yeah.
Is there a fire we can throw it into? And
Well, I don't know. Why don't
I'm
you
going to
set-
try these
Look,
things.
considering how you guys are going, why don't you set Paradin on fire and just throw it on him?
My help?
So you have
It's not out of the question.
So the ring's surprisingly tarnished. No, it's fine. You have a look. There's no writing on it.
I'm gonna put it in my pocket just quietly.
Delgrim will make just a very kind of minimal effort to maybe just push some dirt back into the grave, and then
the cleric is not
and start heading back on the road. Cartwood.
Yeah. Okay.
Miera's gonna just use her mage hand to kind of just sweep some more dirt in as well if she can.
Out of curiosity, how long did all this?
You're probably looking at like 45 minutes at this stage.
Okay, by the time it hit about half an hour, Tiernan gets the better of himself and just creases the canter just a little bit to make them walk off their conscience.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it's probably a couple of hours before you guys finally manage to catch up with the cart. It is early afternoon at this stage. But you see if you come around a bend and you can see the cart off in the distance, and you're able to eventually sort of catch up with it. A Paradin sort of gives you a strange look when he sees you coming, and he goes, "Oh, did you? Tiernan was saying you were going scouting. Did you find anything, or?"
No, but often that is the desired outcome for when you are scouting.
Oh, okay. I don't understand any of this. So, okay.
Would you prefer I find large creature who want to kill us all?
No, of course not.
Then that is desired outcome.
Okay. So you guys clamber back up on the cart and continue on your way. Now, as I said before, the trip is about sort of five days. Is there anything that you want to do over the course of that time?
Tiernan would like to hand the reins over to someone else. He doesn't feel very experienced in handling a cart, and would probably appreciate the time to try to spend more time on fixing the breastplate.
Okay.
Delgrim is absolutely not experienced, but will 100% be down for giving it a crack.
Okay. All right. Look, the horse is pretty docile for the most part. So the voyage, the trip would be comparatively uneventful.
Did Grumpfel find anything of interest?
Sorry, Heath.
That's right.
Make a survival check.
It wasn't sort of paramount. It was just like, well,
no, that's okay.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. 12.
12. I mean, you find a few bits and pieces. Sort of the beginnings of setting up like another sort of healing kit, but there's not a huge amount. But yes,
that's cool. This leaf does that. This root from that tree does this. Cool. No worries.
Yep.
Done.
I guess the question would be, seeing as over 5 days, and although I don't have a workshop, would I be able to finish fixing?
Yeah, look, it would be very awkward, but over that period of time, absolutely, you'd be able to sort of finish the last few bits and pieces that you would need to do on that. Paradin would sort of watch with a certain degree of interest, but otherwise, he sort of stays quiet for the most part. He seems almost in shock with everything that's been going on. And is very quiet.
Tiernan would probably notice Paradin watching, and would automatically fall into the old habit of actually verbalizing and explaining what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like in an instructional manner.
Yep. No, you guys.
Over the 5 days, I'll be sort of maybe just probing Paradin and asking questions about his granddad, and like not probing him, asking about like his grandfather and the treasure, and just seeing if he remembers anything from like his childhood that he would want to share. I'm just trying to sort of keep him quiet and not fussy.
Yep. Let me just have a look here. So he
Just describe them as babies.
Yeah. So basically, he would tell you that, and he almost seems to sort of, appreciate the conversation to distract from, this weird situation he's got and all the terribleness that's going on, But he would tell you that he'd heard stories about his grandfather Felherd. He got the map. Fighting in some border wars between Alamar and Kingsvale when he was part of a mercenary group called the Grey Wolf Company, which as far as Peridon is aware, is actually still in existence. There were stories that it led to like the gem mine was old and abandoned up in the Scimitar Mountains. There was talk of, potentially monsters in there or something like that, but he wasn't sure if that was just his grandfather telling interesting stories or what, because no one ever went and had a look, because it was all the way off in Kingsvale, and considering the animosity between Alamar and Kingsvale, sending off a bunch of people into those lands could sometimes not result in good things happening. His father was never a mercenary. His father just ran the lands. And so, by the only sort of chance of anyone investigating it sort of went when the grandfather passed away. And ever since then, it's just been, a family heirloom that's hung on the wall as a point of interest.
What was the grandfather's name again, sorry?
Felherd.
Grandpa Felherd.
Vicious bastard from a mercenary company.
So anything else anyone wants to do over the course of those 5 days?
At some point over those 5 days, Delgrim will offer the sword that he's taken from Peridon to Tiernan. Tiernan, the sword is too large for me, and you have, excuse me, you have already found the weapon and gifted it to me. I feel you are the one who should rightly hold this very fancy weapon. I wouldn't necessarily rely on it in combat, but it is my gift to you.
Tiernan's a little bit taken back. I am... Well, thank you, Delgrim. He looks at the sword. I don't even know if I can use that. What kind of sword is it?
I'll teach you.
It's a long sword.
That falls under Marshall?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, that's outside of Tiernan's expertise.
Consider it a gift. Something to look at when you want to look at something pretty.
I'm always interested in learning something new. If you wish to provide instruction, I'll try to find the time.
I'm happy to teach.
Okay. I imagine it's going to take a while.
Correct. But still, over the course of the next sort of few days, as you're making your way through to Harrow, Delgrim, you can spend some time in the evenings, beginning to sort of show Tiernan how to use the sword without chopping his own head off.
Grumpfel will make coffee in the morning.
Yep. As always. As always.
I think we missed. Did we miss that last session? Did Grumpfel make coffee? We did. It was only the span of like a day or something, so I didn't get a chance to.
I don't think we had a morning for coffee.
Yeah, so we do it. I will make the coffee.
So, it'd be probably, by the time you guys have been faffing about and stuff like that, it would be probably mid-morning of the 6th day by the time you crest a rise, and off in the distance you can see the town of Harrow. As Wex said, this is significantly larger than the small village of Greenfield. From this distance, you can see it's sort of been built on top of a small rise. In the very center of this town, you can see a large black keep, surrounded by a number of buildings and a large stone wall, almost as if this was the original town. And then around that, it's almost like the town has expanded beyond that original space. And there's a second ring filled with a large number of buildings and a secondary large stone wall that goes around it. Small rivulets of smoke rise up, and you can see sort of towards the northeastern quarter a large amount of smoke rising up, as if there's a number of small fires all burning. As I said, it is like, this is a large place. It's not so like for Miera, it's definitely not the size of Amberdale. Amberdale is definitively a very large city, but you're looking at, this place is good sized. The cart rattles down the road as you head towards the large exterior wall of the town. And as you get closer, you can see that there are some large gates. The wall itself probably extends about 20 feet up into the sky. It is tall, made of very solid stone. And as you get closer, you can see that the gates are currently open. And you can see that there are 6 figures standing at the gates. As you get closer, you realize that the figures are actually really short. And as the cart trundles up, you can see it's actually a group of gnomes. The gnomes, however, are all wearing chainmail armor, equipped with shields, swords, helmets. And let me just find one of my notes here. Bear with me for just a moment, because I skipped away from it when I was looking up something else. Where are we? So they're all wearing these tabards. And you can see in the middle of a yellow field, there is the image of like a mountain that has been cracked in half.
The Earthbreakers.
As you get closer, 2 of them sort of step forward in front of the cart. Hands just casually resting on the hilts of their weapons. One of them just raises his hand and goes, "Oh."
What kind of gnomes are they?
Good question. They appear to be forest gnomes.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the cultural relationship between forest gnomes and deep gnomes? On a broad typical level.
On a broad typical level, there's no animosity or anything of that nature. They would still, gnome to gnome, there would be a certain level of sort of respect in that regards. Okay, but again, with a lot of this world, it's more around where you're from rather than the inherent race that you are.
Yeah, no, that's right. Just in general, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, that guy.
Yeah. Swear their lips. So the one holds his hand and goes, "Ho, what's your purpose here in Harrow?"
We have deliver a prisoner, really.
To which Peridin in the back of the cart goes, Hold on, what do you mean delivering a prisoner? Hold on, that's not what you said. That's not what you said to me.
Miera's just going to
Remember-
look the other way.
Remember what I said your options were.
He's now got just a look of panic in his eyes as three of the gnomes sort of start to walk around one side, sort of trying to look up into the cart, but being somewhat vertically challenged. Why are you bringing him here?
We have a document from the
Document, yes.
was Wex the leader of Greenfields?
Community leader.
Community leader from Greenfields. We've been requested to incarcerate this person at Harrow.
And our parents going, no, this isn't what you told me. This is no, dude. No, this is a lie. No, this is a lie. The gnome just reaches up and takes the piece of paper from you and starts to unfold it. Peridin starts to get up from the back of the cart.
Delgrim's going to hit him.
With what?
Fist. Just a fist. Straight to the side of the head.
Okay, make an attack roll. And I'm going to give you advantage on this, basically surprise. Natural.
Okay.
20.
Unarmed strike. It was not a natural 20. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. 7.
Wow. So
You gently caress.
in a
It's okay, Peridin.
in a frenzy of just sheer terror, you turn and swing, and almost inadvertently he's sort of as he's standing, you sort of misjudge his height versus your fist, and it goes wide. He leaps off the back of the cart, hands still manacled, and just starts racing in the opposite direction.
They're not leg manacles? Oh.
No, it's totally just hand manacles.
Yeah. And one of the gnomes who's looking at you, Tiernan, after you gave him the piece of paper, kind of glances down the back and sees Peridin racing and looks at you and goes, "Hey, mate, you're a prisoner's legging it."
The Aussie gnomes.
Can I? Is he 90 feet?
He would still
From
be
me?
within 90 feet, yes.
Can I cast sleep, please?
Yes, you can, Miera.
Noting if there are other people around him, they may also be affected.
No, there is nobody else around.
Okay.
So once again,
I would like to petition that Miera changes the name Sleep to Chlorophyll.
yeah. Where's that community thing again? So once again, Miera, you call forth this magic, and you guys watch, Peridin is just bolting, and the next thing, head first into the dirt.
Dirt nap. Yes.
The gnomes who had sort of come around the back sort of glance up at you, Miera, because they would have heard you, as you were casting the spell. Look back at him and go,
Sweetest halfling.
"Oh, it's impressive. Do you want us to go grab him?"
You don't
yes,
mind?
please.
Yeah,
I will
right.
grab him. And Delgrim's going to march out to the unconscious Peridin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two of
Dragging the
the
rope out of his pack.
Grumpfel will head down just in case he needs some medical assistance.
couple of
Drag the rope
gnomes.
out of his pack, tie his feet, and then punch him in the face while he's on the sleep spell.
Make him roll the hit.
Why has this all started just since Kate's turned up in the chat?
Yeah, I
We
was
were
gonna
going
say-
so well. We were going
Hi,
so
Kate.
well.
This is not indicative of the whole session, Kate.
Yes, you missed earlier when they robbed the grave.
No.
Surprise!
Oh, I was going to talk about when we did a deep dive into the financial,
Yes, we did do that.
politics of the immediate area. That's
So
great.
I'm guessing you're essentially just trying to knock him out, Or
No, I no longer care. No, his feet are tied now, so we can just drag him back and he can't run away again. I'm just punching him in the face because it annoyed me that I missed the first time.
Okay, all right. So look, he's still. By the time you've tied him up, like he would be conscious again because the spell only lasts a minute. And as he feels his legs being tied up, like he's looking around. The two gnomes are just sort of standing there, arms folded, just watching. And he's a sitting duck at this stage, and you just cold clock him in the side of the head, which just whips into the dirt. And you can just hear, like, he just lets out this squeal of pain. And he looks up at you, just this beaten, defeated individual, with this look of just betrayal on his face. And you can see that there's now tears streaming down his face. He doesn't say anything. One of the gnomes.
To drag him back onto guard.
One of the gnomes looks at you and goes, "Right, well, don't know what's going on here, but do you want to? I think hey Sarge, was that note legitimate?" And the gnome that you were originally dealing with, Tiernan, has been sort of looking. It goes, yeah, it's good enough.
Oh, we're actually new to Harrow. Where do I go?
Where do you go? Well, look, we'll take him from here.
Oh, okay. Would you like us to go with, or?
No, why? We've got the letter. Says he needs to be locked up. We'll lock him up.
Okay. Can you recommend a good inn?
Good inn? Well, I mean, best one's probably the Vale Way. If you're a little bit low on coin, your other option, you go to the Cloven Horse.
And sorry to keep pepping you with questions, but or directions. I've also been instructed to deliver a letter to the Alton's estate. Where might I find that?
Oh, the Altons. All right. You'd need to. Whereabouts are they again? You would need to take them into the Dragon's Heart.
That's a district, I take it.
Yeah, center of the city.
Much appreciated. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, not a problem. He turns around. Hey, boys, you can handle that Furbolg? And they just, like, they're currently just sort of pulling Peridin up. And they get him up onto his feet. And he's sort of shaky and woozy, and can hardly move with the rope around his legs. And one of the gnomes just goes, pulls out a knife and goes, "I'm going to cut his feet free because this is just going to be a pain in the ass to try and get him through the town like this. Do you want your rope or not?" Looking at you, Delgrim.
You can keep rope. Next prisoner you need to tie. You use.
Yeah, okay, whatever. He just cuts the rope and then just throws it off to the side. Grabs Peridin by the hands and goes, "All right, you, come on." And Peridin's shoulders, they're just slumped. As he watches these four gnomes now lead off this huge, in comparison to them, Furbolg, through the gates and off into the town of Harrow.
I'm assuming they told me where those inns were.
No. You just asked. You said where to go, and I was just like, "That's here."
What time of day is it?
It is. It's sort of mid-morningish. All right, move along.
I might just quickly gather up some of that cut rope.
Yeah.
Just if there's a few sort of random length little fibers or whatever out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clean, like the knife was very sharp, so it's just a clean cut, and it's easy enough to gather them up. Yep. All right, come on, 3 go.
We find Vale Way that Wex recommended to stay at.
I recommend we go to the noble house first, possibly deliver the letter, and then hopefully get directions to the Vale Way Inn.
Wasn't that only a backup option?
It was to cover our options, wasn't it? Because you still have the bank issue.
At least we could deliver letter. We let Wex, we let Altons decide.
Yeah, let them sort out what they wish to do with the future of their village. Wasn't that the decision, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think so. Let's do it.
We need to find where Altons.
Oh, I know where they are. The name gave me directions. They're in a district in the center of the Harrow, the Dragon Heart.
Dragon Heart?
Yeah, pretty cool name, eh?
Is actual Dragon Heart? Why is it called Dragon Heart?
I don't know. I don't think I know the history of Harrow anyway.
I mean, you can make a history check if you want. The chances of knowing much are going to be painfully
pretty
small.
low.
Yep. Then that'll be a no.
I rolled a natural 20.
You roll a
That's
natural
25.
25. Interesting.
I rolled a 20 on that.
And what were you wanting to know?
The meaning behind the name.
Yeah. Why it's called Dragon's Heart.
You have a vague inkling of reading something about the fact that the ruling family here are actually dragonborn, and as such, there is quite possibly some connection between that and the name of the inner district.
I turn to Delgrim and say, I have no idea.
Awesome.
It sounds like amazing place to visit. I vote we take letter to Altons.
So the cart rattles through the gate into the streets of Harrow. As you sort of start to make your way through the township, this is a busy town. There are a lot of people going about their business. You seem to be in a bit more of a sort of almost sort of a residential sort of area at this point in time. Lots of houses. You can see people sort of coming out, going about their, heading off to work and that sort of thing. Few other carts rattling down the road. The streets here are predominantly dirt. A lot of the buildings are stone, tall, often a couple of stories high. There's kids running around, lots of squealing and noise. This is a bustling, busy township. You also notice that there are not an inconsiderable number of more of these gnomes. Even traveling for sort of the first 10 minutes through the township as you make towards the centre. You can see a couple of patrols of these gnomes making their way through the township. And you do notice that a lot of the townsfolk keep a fairly wide berth of them. Much like Greenfield, there is an eclectic collection of races here. More humans than anything else, but you certainly see furbolgs, bugbears, number of dragonborn, again, gnomes and the like. It probably takes you half an hour to navigate through the town, just based on the sheer amount of traffic and trying to sort of navigate the cart through it.
3 steps forward, 2 steps back, sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of, before you get close to what appears to be a large set of wrought iron gates, which are built into this inner wall, which houses the Dragon's Heart. Once again, there are more guards at these gates, and as you get closer, you can see that the gates themselves are very, very ornate. The black iron has been twisted into the forms of what appear to be essentially dragons. The craftsmanship is extraordinary. And as you get closer, you can see that some of the imagery on the gates themselves is slightly unsettling. Amongst the dragons, there are forms of humanoids, almost being. You can see some where it's like the head of the dragon is coming up, and you can see like a person almost sort of half in the mouth, as if it's being chased and bitten. It's hard to sort of put a finger on it, but there's just something about the way that the gates are put together and this imagery here, which is just, it's not ornate and pretty. Oh, look at the lovely flying dragon. There's an element of cruelty that's built into this imagery. Tortured figures and forms as well. As you roll up to the gates, you see, as I said before, there's a few more gnomes there. And as they step forward, ready to have a talk with you about what your purpose is, we are going to stop there for this evening.
You told me there were no dragons in this world. Clearly there's dragon-esque corpses, at least. Of some kind.
I'm going to change my mind. I'm the DM.
What was that imagery? Like this in the gate, like a dragon eating a human, or
yeah. So think of wrought iron gates with so there's imagery like dragons. There might be some dragons in flight, but on the other side there might be a dragon like tearing someone apart. There's other imagery of like people and sort of being tormented and tortured. So think of. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
It is like I said,
a chroma conclave all over again.
It's unsettling in regards to the imagery, but also like the craftsmanship itself is exceptional. Like this is a piece of art. But yeah.
We finally made it to Harrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
After spending a couple of hours of debating, yeah.
After being explicitly told by Tolwyn not to go to Harrow.
Oh, he said not to go to the rat nest.
Yeah, to be fair.
That's probably where
that's a good. That's a good point.
Well, I've got many notes on Harrow. Slowly making.
Okay, so let's before we do the draw for the giveaway, let's do a usual quick Rick brain failing quick whip around of favorite moments, and we'll start with John. Since you went at the beginning of the introductions, you can go at the end of the introductions. You can go at the beginning now.
Oh, my favorite part. It's a hard one, really, because most of what we've done tonight has been largely a lot of role play associated with poor old Peregrine. I would have to say my favorite part is seeing the dynamic of the group where there are clearly
Good and
members of the
evil?
group.
Is that what you're working
No.
Good guys and bad guys within the group.
It's almost like I feel it's like part of the group is very black and white. It's like you've done wrong, so you must pay for those wrongs. And it's like, well, and that you're a done deal. So what are you going to do? And then the other side is like, well, have a bit more compassion. Let's see what we can do. And it's nice seeing the two sides of the group where we're not so much butting heads. We're more of a sense trying to get, how would I word this? We're trying to get to a conclusion which satisfies both parties. But it doesn't look like there was a good solution.
Is there a middle ground? Yeah.
No, there was I don't feel like though we reached a middle ground. It wasn't until Wex offered a third option, and even that is just borderline grey.
But he's going to be safe in a prison. It's the best possible outcome for everyone.
But it was nice seeing
safety, not outright murder. Ugh,
but it was so interesting to see that Grumpfel and Miera trying to I don't know. I felt like they empathized with Peregrine more.
They caved. That's what they did. They caved.
Right? Good cop, bad cop.
And
I got what I wanted.
Whereas Delgrim...
Wait, who out of Grumpfel and Miera was bad cop? Who was the good cop?
Well, what was funny was Delgrim acted before Tiernan got a chance. Delgrim walked out of the room and Tiernan was like, that's exactly what I was going to fucking do. It was just...
So...
I loved it.
Awesome. Mr. Heath, what about you?
All grave robbing aside, I think, yeah, I've got to agree with John. The role playing dynamic tonight has been, though meticulous, has been solid throughout. The dynamic of the party showing different sides to what we should do with Peregrine. Delgrim emphasizing a point by not just tapping the sword on the ground, shoving the sword in the ground, sort of in the floorboards, was good. And the fact that we sort of bantered with the NPCs rather than just sort of killing them or dismissing them, sort of thing. There was a bit of in-depth role play with it. I gotta say, I do like the heavy discussion with Peregrine ended with, it's okay, have a sparkle cookie.
there.
And then Delgrim almost following up with the Dread Pirate Roberts. It's okay, we might kill you in the morning.
So on the subject of sparkle cookies, Cass.
There was a fair bit, I guess. My favorite thing was probably getting the map because I've had my eye on that since the last
Sweetest halfling in the world, people.
Yeah. Sweetest, my fat, hairy asshole.
I'm still sweet. I did sympathize with Peregrine. I felt bad.
Even the background saying she's dark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I know, my lights
lies!
went off.
How much she lies! This entire thing, that's not even fucking real!
Hopefully someone in the other room is paying attention and will turn my lights back on for me. We'll see.
Yeah.
See if Plug Monkey actually does his
shit
job.
to get a plug monkey. Yeah.
We'll see.
So Miera's finally got her map. Interesting. Okay. Mr. Promethean.
There's probably two that come to mind, both from chat. One is the sheer number of times that chat got to use sweetest little halfling in the world sarcastically. That was brilliant. Thank you all. And the second is when we had a troll jump in and everyone just ignored them until they went away. I'm so proud of everyone. It was beautiful. Well done.
That was
It
good.
was
Yeah, kudos, Jeff, for that.
amazing.
Perfect.
10 points to all of you. Well done.
Nice.
It was great.
And
I'm also happy Miera got to get the treasure map because I could see Cass like just keyed up for it, just like wanting to turn every conversation into a conversation about this treasure map, and that made me really happy.
Yeah.
And has anyone seen the scene at a community where they chloroform the guard?
I have now since post Heather.
And then they chloroform
Craziness.
themselves and wake up, and they'll all wake up and then they just chloroform again. That's Miera to a T.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
It is. Miera is Annie Edison. Yeah. Cool. It's really exhausting playing a terrified human being or terrified furbolg. Like trying to put myself in the shoes of Peridin with you guys emotionally tormenting him for so long. It's exhausting.
Well, actually, you always ask us what our favourite part is. What's your favourite part, Hamish?
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like it was interesting playing that and putting something that which wasn't necessarily super black and white in front of you guys, and then just watching you spiral around it for a few hours and see where we ended up. It's definitely helping to inform the group identity and where people stand and where potentially things go in relation to that in the future. You know, I mean, there's definitely some different approaches across the group to how people do things. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Thank you very much to everybody who's
Wait, did you just say Mr. NPC?
NVC. But anyway, thank you very much everyone who has hung out with us tonight. We will be back in a fortnight, and we will find out. What lies in wait in Harrow for our little band of adventurers.
And whether the town will be left standing.
Will they get a chance to talk to Alton, the Altons? Will they terrorize more people? Will they go looking for Miera's friend? What might they find? Who knows? But check back in fortnight, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And who knows? Maybe the moral heart of the group will have reappeared by then as well.
That's me, isn't it?
Hey! I'm not morally. Tiernan's not morally ambiguous.
Sorry. No.